Sweetie, did we ever search this statue?
I don't think anybody did.
I mean, we probably touched it while we slid behind it.
Yeah, you probably just, people might very well have touched it on the way to the back,
Ask the
but nobody
guard.
actually checked it.
Guard, what is your name?
This guy here.
Yeah.
My name is Proteus. I have been tending this temple for, well, as long as Versi has been here as well. And thank you very much.
Does this statue hold any secrets?
Oh, not that I know of. When we got here, there was more gold on it. We have to admit we took some of the gold off of it to pay for some smaller repairs and to get this door to the stairs to the downstairs area fixed here. They weren't here before.
What's the Goliath name? That's Schechter, isn't it?
That's Schechter's character. Yeah. It's
Solomon.
Yeah, Solomon.
Solomon.
Yeah. I'll also have to actually still fix.
Think Solomon could rip that thing apart?
Oh, he could like it in it's been repaired, but if he finds a little crack or something where he can actually get hold on the plating, he's probably strong enough to maybe rip some stuff off of it.
I say we get Solomon to dismantle his statue and see if it holds any secrets inside it.
All right.
I don't know about all that.
Seems like a really good way to piss off some gods.
Yes.
You can certainly try. You know that Proteus at some point must have done something like it. But he also kind of interjects as you have, talk about these plans. Just 1 second. I actually got some of our provisions. I want to give you some parting gifts. He gives you. Each of you gets a potion of healing from him.
Yes.
And he's also gonna tell you the future of Thalia may be bleak, but there's always hope. And the people of this land will look onto your actions as a sign of things to come, as a kind of token of something bigger. Don't seek fame or fortune, but show them real heroism. Just show them what a hero should be like.
Is there any way to make a actionable healing potion in your inventory that will actually
you can drag a healing potion into your inventory. I think that should work. Just if you search on it in the info tab, it should get you the potion of healing. That's the SRD thing, I think. Or is it not?
Sad reindeer daddy.
Sweet.
Hello there.
Hi.
Oh, hello there, Solomon.
Wait.
All right.
Hey.
Yo.
Yeah, sorry about that.
What it is, yo?
Sorry, I thought we were starting later.
Solomon, you've turned into a funny little Basque man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Well, I got some cousins from the Basque Mountains, Basque Mountain Range. I'm also slightly related, apparently, because my last name is Longdew. Apparently, there's a little bugger flying around, and his name is Lightdew.
Yeah.
It seems like a bunch of hogwash to me. You're a big.
To me, it seems like we got a bunch of freaky fucking parents. That's what it sounds like.
Amen to that, brother.
I don't want to see a
Yeah.
Goliath smashing fairies, like, either way.
My
You
mom
don't want to
abandoned
see
me
that.
on the beach.
Okay.
Nobody wants to see it, so the fuck that is.
You feel like tearing a statue apart, Solomon?
What's that?
You think you could tear this gold statue of the god Poseidon apart for us?
Start with the balls.
I'm not touching that
I
nutsack.
was
No
waiting
way.
for that one.
No way.
Look how
I'm not trying to
confidently
get.
he displays them out there.
I'm not trying
That's
to get
just something you
bean
don't want to
bag.
mess with.
No. Haven't you heard that old riddle? Why a human never tries to push a Goliath?
No, I haven't. Why?
He's gonna catch a coin burst to the face.
Oh.
Oh, fucking fantastic.
I have a coin purse.
Oh yeah, it's pretty protected too. You gotta keep your gold nice and shoved up there, I guess.
Nugget.
Okay.
Wow.
What happened? What happened?
I cast mage armor.
All right, sorry about this. Sorry guys, I'm a big
All
fucking
good.
distraction coming in late and
All
everything.
good.
All right.
I'll
Taking
just
it off strong.
actually see if
That's the
I can
second
do
one.
something funny.
Piece protector.
Let's see if that works.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
a lot of echo now.
A lot of echo from me, or yeah. Wait, I know what it is.
No, it's from me. I know what it is.
Yeah, it is.
One of these days, I'm gonna just drive over to your house and set up your roll 20.
That's a good idea.
Drive right on
Okay.
over.
Let's
that.
see if I can do that one. I'll just
Crazy
have to
language.
reload.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Every time I boot up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's what?
It's your mic and roll 20.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I just unplugged it.
It's the roll 20 setting.
Yeah.
Must be.
I got him muted in roll 20. But I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah, you're muted. I see that you're muted.
I just
Who,
switched
me?
my roll 20 settings to video and video. That's where it's my neutral.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys can still hear me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Better? Nice.
Yeah, I can hear you, and there's no echo.
Exactly.
I don't know what you did, but it fixed it.
It
Well, the way-
fixed it.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see how long.
Oh, don't be defeated.
No, I think we're okay.
You're the best.
I think we're Gucci now.
I love you.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Thank
Nice.
I love you too, man. I've never met. I love you too.
I love you
Yeah.
too, man. I've never met.
Dungeons and Dragons.
It's true.
Where strangers become a family.
Love everybody.
All right. Yeah, so one thing that's gonna happen is actually that I'll put Kyra in this again. As you all kind of talk and, do all these things, Kyra and the goat that I actually don't have the token for in here, I think. Let me get that, because I definitely have the goat. Yeah.
Love you. It's so good to see you again.
Kyra the goat.
I mean, we could have lost the goat. That's fine too. It's
Or
okay.
is he-
That would be good.
He's
Come on, Tom, Serena, Buddy Williams.
He's usually the coolest cat in the room, but whenever Kyra walks in, it's like his voice starts cracking, and he just
Oh, yeah.
this is it.
And Esther is more excited about Tom, Serena, Brady Williams.
Oh yeah,
He's
probably.
alive! Oh, goddamn, he's alive. That's good. How you doing there, you little shit? Oh, hey, Kyra, how you doing?
Yeah, sounds about right.
So we did the thing. We got some questions.
Nice to see you again, Kyra.
I don't know what
Goat.
it is. The goat just makes me feel claustrophobic for a little bit.
I don't like him either.
Yeah. So the thing, you actually talked to Versi, right? I kind of think I think you did, right? And she kind of
She did the
tugs on the
prophet
goat.
thing.
Yeah, the goat is kind of trying to nibble at the clothes of the temple guy, Proteus' clothes. She's just kind of stop that. Yeah,
Relax it.
yeah, tell me about it, please. I need to did everything go well? And she kind of takes out
well-
her note scroll and a quill.
He just kind of like looks around, just like the body is everywhere and blood like covering the walls. Be like, well, yeah, I think it actually went pretty well above average. Actually, it was a lot smoother than I thought it was going to.
And I've never seen one before, but with my oracle eyes, we went downstairs and we killed the bitch.
Well,
Oh
she's
yeah, there was
taking notes.
a hag. Some other things.
Yeah, that's right. It was a bag. My
Oh,
bad, not a
prophecy,
bitch, it was a bag.
Is it just me, or is the longer that he hangs out with us, the less innocent he's becoming?
Isn't that good?
I don't know. It just feels kind of dark. Like it's
Well,
like
yeah.
it's like we corrupted a child.
Oh, I could turn the light on.
Well, yeah, it is.
I mean, what would you call it? It's like an old
so
lady that
about
casts
that prophecy.
that casts spells.
Yes.
She has
Please
like
tell
a
me about
spell.
the prophecy. I don't actually understand all of this quite. You're right. Yes. So maybe from the beginning.
All right, that makes 6 of us.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's more than I think there's more people than that in
Now
there.
Squigs totally understands what's going on.
Sure, well, stop counting. You're making me busy.
Oh wow.
I mean, what else would you call like a lady that casts spells and she has like a staff and she makes potions?
A wizard.
A
Schechter,
miracle.
that was a hag, Schechter.
I thought it was a bitch.
I think probably both works in some way. So
Which?
what?
What, bitch?
What's the? What actually happened? See, sorry I couldn't be there, but I had to pay attention. Just stop eating the person's clothes here. I'm sorry. Proteus is your name. Yeah, right. Thank you. Proteus steps back a little bit
Oh,
because
he
the goat
just
keeps
backs, yeah.
nibbling at his clothes. So, yeah.
Soren.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
What's a wubba bitch?
I was trying to help him pronounce witch. because he was saying bitch instead of witch.
Oh, so a wubba bitch is that's not a thing.
That's not a thing. That sounds neat though. Maybe we'll name the next goat that.
Oh, it's a big bootied witch, is what it is.
Whoa, witch, bitch.
Thanks, sorry.
Okay, yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, we're not the cool ones. I don't think.
Proteus is
I'm pretty cool.
interested in hearing about this this vision as Kyra obviously is. He's still kind of standing there and trying to figure out who to actually talk to that might make sense of all of this.
Yeah, Esther is just like, is it really going to be me? Am I the best person for this?
Okay.
They're kind of looking like they seem to have maybe they have given up on Solomon. Solomon is kind of not in there. Yeah.
Okay,
We got to
so
grab some stuff. We got to
Just
do some
doing-
stuff. We got to go
Just
some
doing my
places.
job.
they
Yeah,
came in.
it's all good.
We fought some kind of strange creatures outside that we were accosted before we even came into the place. We come into the place. There's dead people. There was somebody killing maids and priests, I believe. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this religion. And then we went down to a
Wait, did we ever kill him?
Well, we didn't kill him, but we killed the
The-
people that were trying to kill them.
Boss guy, you kind of
Okay,
the
all
thing
right.
is you did at the end it was pretty much certain that you would have gotten rid of him. Like the boss of this whole
Didn't he
thing.
like escape or some shit?
He wanted to, he didn't. he
No,
tried and
didn't we
failed.
tell you had to work here at the church, like pay back his due?
That's this guy over
That was the
here
other
is
guy.
the one that you convinced that he's not a fighter at all.
Well,
You
we
didn't
made
try
the-
to make him your companion, which he nicely tried to decline about 10 times because he really doesn't think he's good for fighting anymore or any adventures.
I think we made the leader swear an oath on the gods that he would
you
serve
did
the temple.
you did make him swear, and he is probably at this point just kind of cleaning out some of the mess in the back. I mean, I can totally put him there.
Okay, so we did make both of them stay at the temple and help.
They're
Kira's
yeah.
did it voluntarily because he has nowhere else to go. But the boss
he
man, we
wanted
made
to
swear an oath.
exactly.
Yeah.
He might at some
On his life.
point in your conversation kind of come out from the back with this one. There was this woman, this dead woman in the kind of in the back of the hallway there, right there. He might just start actually carrying out some of the dead and put them in a pile outside to get
Clean up
burned.
your mess.
But yeah, he's out of the equation for now. He's just there.
But we went to the sub basement. We promptly met the Oracle, as you said she would be there, and learned some interesting facts about parentage. We've got a prophecy. It's been quite an interesting day. I do have the prophecy written down if you'd like to see it.
Oh, yes, I would very much like to hear what she said.
Sure, that was the whole point of her asking us.
Just let me know. I think I can, maybe both of us, and she's kind of pointing to Proteus. I think we can both help you understand what she meant. We might be more familiar with her,
Oh well,
visions.
absolutely. I can read it if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's see.
And you
The first part. The first part
Yeah.
goes, and then yeah.
Yeah, and then you just
I can actually
do
read it
that.
if you want me to, but
Whichever one you like best. If you want to, you can absolutely go ahead,
Oh,
and
guys,
she'll just
guys.
do this whole
Sor-
thing in order.
Soren's gonna tell a story.
okay, gather round.
Crisscross applesauce, everybody. Let's go. Let's fucking rage.
Begins with you warriors who stand here gathered will be tested. The fates have revealed 3 great tasks that must be accomplished before you're ready to sail into the 3 seas and face the Titans.
Scribble.
I guess that's somehow that means we need to accomplish these 3 things. I don't know what the 3 C's are. Does anybody know what the 3 C's might be?
Proteus could chime
my-
in. You would also kind of know about it. You might be unsure why it's 3. But what you would know is, let me see, you would probably just, if you if you do history, it's that's pretty
Capitalism,
good.
communism.
Good enough to get quite a few
Corruption.
things out of it.
I was gonna say see, saw, and
I was
thought.
gonna say Catholicism.
Really, three? You thinking the letter C's? I wrote C's like oceans.
I think it's seas like oceans. That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah,
I think
I mean
it's-
that's what I wrote. That's what I
As
wrote.
you kind of think that
did say
Orestes
sail.
absolutely knows that there's the Cerulean Gulf, which is a huge kind of Gulf area that's considered its own sea.
Okay.
And there's also the Forgotten Sea, which is kind of just out to the south of where you would be. Both of this, it's just one is further south than the other.
Have I ever seen a
Uh,
map?
Hmm?
Have I ever seen a map?
You would have seen. You know what? I'll send you a little snippet of something that you would kind of know. Just have to pay attention.
Guys, I got
that
it. It's
the
the
right
three
one.
C's. It's see, saw, and dark.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it,
So what
Schecter.
you
And then
would
if you
know-
close your
Solomon.
eyes, dark.
I'll add that to my notes for sure.
Oh yeah, we did it. High fives
And
all
I
around.
very obviously do not write anything.
what you would
You
see,
wrote
I'll
that
send
down,
it to
right?
you
Come on.
personally, so nobody else.
Absolutely, yeah, I wrote
has
it down.
any.
It's right here.
In the screenshot that I just sent you, there's this kind of
Oh, hells yeah.
huge maelstrom that you see. That is kind of where the Cerulean Gulf ends, and the very, very unpredictable and not very known Forgotten Sea kind of starts.
It's the far side then,
It's
right?
the
For me.
far southern side. You're kind of you're in this at the kind of at the top of the woods there. Like in the screenshot, let me see. You can see Astoria. It's if you follow this one river upriver to
Mhm.
end up in Astoria, and that's the next city. And you're in the forest,
Yeah,
kind
they're
of to the
pulling out of
northern
mine.
side of it right now.
So the sea immediately to the Gulf, immediately to the south of me is the
Yeah.
Gulf. What?
Yes, that's the Cerulean Gulf.
Cerulean. Okay.
Yes. And then the Forgotten Sea is pretty much anything further south to that and probably surrounding the whole land. It's very, very unknown. Nobody actually knows a lot about it. And there are people going missing every now and then. There's lots of stories of adventurers at some point in their story just
The third
going
sea.
out there and never coming back. You don't actually know for sure,
I looked to Kira.
but you
look at the
kind
third
of just from what you know, that's all the geography you can remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Kyra is yeah, well, there's also the Nether Sea. You probably have heard it. It's it's this place that's, I think most people here would probably think it's a myth. I think.
So it's like not
I'm
here,
sure you've
another
heard
there.
it, and you have heard of the Nether Sea, Orestes. You just didn't actually consider it a body of water,
Mm-hmm.
and
What's
you
it
were
called?
thinking of actual bodies of water right now.
What
But
is it?
that would be the Nether Sea.
Nether. Okay.
Nether, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So that would be
Oh.
the and Proteus just nods and is kind of, he seems to also know that part of the story, or he could also interpret that much, and just seems to be coming to the same conclusions.
Well, that answers that. It continues with the three tasks. The first being you must shape the silver fires of the Lost Forge in order to craft the tools that you will need. Does
Mhm.
anybody know of a silver fires of the Lost Forge?
Solomon raises his hand.
Okay. Kyra just kind of looks at you kind of raising one eyebrow. Proteus doesn't actually know you that well at all, so he's not aware of the fact that it's kind of a joke, but he's gonna go for it. Oh, you know something? Have you studied this? He's actually talking to Solomon. Are you a follower of Vulcan then, by any chance? He's just
He's an oracle.
making conversation with Solomon at this point.
Oh, I'm still looking at Soren. Like he's reading the book, so I can't say anything.
Yeah.
So.
Soren looks over at the two of them and just hangs his head and goes, "Where is it? Where is it, Solomon? Where is the Lost Forge and the Silver Fires?"
Well, if we're trying to make something, isn't there a maker, like some kind of god, who makes things?
Kyra kind of
Yeah,
chuckles.
I guess so. Is that how the gods function? Kyra, you would know.
Yeah, there is a forge god in this pantheon.
Yes,
Can't
there
remember
is.
the name of it though.
Forge
it
god.
is.
Forge god. I'll flip back in my pages. Vulcan, I believe.
Yes,
Vulcan,
exactly.
that's right.
Vulcan.
Yeah, Kyra nods to that. That would very probably be about the Mithril Forge and the god Vulcan. You're right. They kind of both tell
if it's a
you
myth.
that Vulcan and his forge are in a place that is also kind of mythically known. So Orestes might have heard the name, but more in like a poem of a place somewhere called Telamok. I'll
Telamok?
actually write it down. Oops. Can't write today. Wow. Like that.
Okay.
Which is known to be a necropolis of some kind. So it's a place somewhere that's got a lot of tombs.
But I don't actually know what land it lies in.
You wouldn't know that much about it. You know, it's kind of this mythical place where they laid the dragon lords to rest.
Okay.
I want to go.
So it's
Yeah.
a very mythical place. It's
Yeah.
just not
believe-
something you would, point to on a map.
Before the gods, there were dragons. And still are some dragons, but I think I
Yes.
remember that being part of the
Yeah.
origin here is like there was a big war between
And
gods
then
Yeah,
before
the
all of them,
gods
it
and
was
the
Titans.
and
Titans.
Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. The
The
gods
gods.
kind of came and more or less like the gods weren't there. Like the Titans are the actual origin, but they kind of turned against some of the people. They just went kind of against all the people that tried to make settlements and were more on the side of the Fae in this realm that kind of waged a war against any civilized people and would probably have won unless they were like the gods came and helped those civilized people to get
We
rid
like
of
it
the
wild.
Titans for a while.
Orestes says, I never did care much for order. We like things a little wild around here.
Yeah.
Like you don't raise your hand at story time?
Well, Solomon, that was actually really insightful. That helped us find the answer. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm a pretty
Yeah.
nice person. I'm not spiteful at all.
He's an oracle, Daz. He knows a lot of stuff.
Proteus kind of
not spiteful insight. It means that you had a very good insight. Like you were.
All right, let's be
Proteus
real here. This
vanishes
is
in the
not worth
back
our
again.
time.
You got a smart one.
and comes back.
There we go.
And,
That was better.
Holds a coin in his hands. It's a very, very. It's tarnished. It doesn't. It looks old. It looks really old. Kind of on the bigger side. When you consider a coin, it's just a little bit unwieldy. And he kind of looks around, looks to Kyra. I have this. It's I've treasured it for. Well, I'm now the 5th generation of my family to hold this. I think it might be helpful in your tasks if you're trying to get to Telemok. The stories tell of a guardian, and I think they also talk about how a Dragon Lord coin would actually help you get into that place. I've never had any interest in trying this, but please keep this safe. And he hands probably Solomon, because he's the one who's bookkeeping and seems to be the one that's keeping things for him.
Did you say I'm
Squigs
gives
in a
you a
green.
burnished
Squigs.
Dragon Lord coin.
Let's see, Squigs in a green flash, just yoink, and it just like hops, jumps right on his shoulder, like, all right, make sure to keep a hold of this real nice and safe, everybody.
Make a sleight of hand check.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop him.
Oh, it wasn't gonna be like sleight of hand
Okay.
or anything. It was
Okay.
he's legit like just running in full view, jumping,
Okay.
grabbing it, running back over to me, and like, I mean,
Well,
let's
then
all
it's
be real here.
probably like a possibly a dex thing between you and Solomon, whom
I mean, I'm not gonna try to
not
take it.
Solomon,
If
Soren.
anything,
No,
okay,
Soren
gotcha.
and Squigs, I guess. Unless Soren is just like, oh well, here, quick, Squigs, you go.
You know, Soren's not as easygoing as Solomon. I don't know if he would necessarily do it. He'd probably try to snatch it too.
Yeah. So then just both should roll just a dex check to see.
He's definitely gonna beat me.
Yeah, it's basically initiative for both of you.
Yeah, it's like his forte.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is kind of my thing.
Yeah.
My
I mean, you're
dragon
really good at
has
being
3
cool.
decks.
But-
Gotta be
Oh,
kidding me.
What?
He's been taking notes,
Fates have
dude.
spoken.
Wow.
Been taking notes.
Just lightning
All right.
click, zoink, and
As
then
the
it disappears into
senseless
sleep.
little companion.
Don't even
But
want to give
Soren-
the dragon
Yeah.
coin. Okay.
Like, no,
There's-
hold on. Let's discover the mystery first. We'll figure out who gets to hold the coin. Okay, hold on. We haven't even made it through the prophecy yet.
It's a coin of a dragon lord.
I want to hold the coin too.
Well, we'll pass around the coin. We'll figure out who
Oh,
can hold it
wow.
and stuff. We're just let's hear the.
No, just keep
we're
it.
only-
Just keep it. It's cool.
It's
cool.
only
Whatever.
it's only
Whatever.
one
Now
of the 3
Solomon stands
tasks
up.
down.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
so
I'm kidding.
along those lines,
We'll just split it. Let's split the coin up.
The next task is we have to claim the mighty weapons wielded against the Titans by the first Dragon Lord.
Oh, I got my mace.
So-
I don't need another weapon.
Esther just walks outside.
Oh, I need some clarification.
Yes.
Who fought alongside the Fae against civilization?
The Titans were on more on the side of the Fae. It was
Yeah.
just that originally the Titans weren't technically bad. It was Sidon and his sister / wife, kind of, that went and actually kind of overpowered all the other Titans first, and then started to just kind of get on a power trip of sorts. So it now basically, whenever anybody says the Titans, they just mean 2 of the Titans. There were more than that. And yeah, so the story kind of is that not all Titans are bad, but there are at least 2 Titans that have tried to kind of shape the whole world in their kind of view and make it, free of any humans that just kind of got there somewhere and tried to build cities, and they tried to raise all that to the ground.
Not a Titan, though, right?
Who's not a Titan?
Or Sidon is considered a Titan?
Sidon is one of the Titans.
Okay. Okay.
It's Sidon and Lutheria are the two titans that, have kind of gone on that power trip. And
Oh,
you would know that they are both siblings, and also often in the stories are referred to as husband and wife.
yeah.
It's complicated,
Yeah, it
Uh,
all is with these
but
Greek gods.
they're also like there have been generations of titans before them. There has been a kind of titan that shaped the whole world, and that titans like the titan would actually have been called Thylia, like the land. And this is the whole story of Thylia somehow maybe not even dying, but kind of giving her body to become the whole world. And Thylia would have been the mother of those two titans and then a bunch more that
Okay.
got overpowered by the two.
Okay, so maybe I was out of place to suggest we destroy the statue of Sidon, since I probably have like a little bit of a. I'm probably on Sidon's side altogether, unless he's a
You're
druid.
probably kind of because you're more interested, like you're not. The point is you're not trying to actually you're fine with the people in the land, so you're probably not quite on his side, but you would definitely be more on this kind of uh there must be some use to the all of this. So the there's these two really big parties of one side is with the two titans and just against anybody who's pretty much not a fae. And then there's the other side that's all of civilized people, which is just people in all shapes and colors that tend to be on the sides of the gods. And everybody just thinks that it's basically titans against gods, but technically it isn't. It's really just two of the titans kind of got out of hand and overpowered all the rest. So you're kind of in the middle of it all. You wouldn't necessarily like Sidon that much because he's one of those. He's there.
Here's what I do. I look to Kira. I say, Kira. He
Yes.
says there are so many sides to choose in the ancient battles and wars the gods and titans have fought, but my heart belongs to you. So, who should I show sympathy towards?
I am very much of the opinion that those two, Sidon and Lotheria, really got out of hand. We have had 500 years of enforced peace now by this oath that they had to swear at the end of the last huge war. I am sure that the stories as they go now are leading us in the direction that it's probably a fight between them and anybody else who cares to join in. I think if we don't manage to get rid of those two in some way, or make them at least just accept us as gods being here as well, they will try to destroy all the gods as well. So I'm absolutely against those two. I'm not sure about any other titans. I don't generally hate anybody,
Say no
but I
more,
would
my
say
lady.
those are kind of dangerous to myself.
You have given me the guidance I seek. So, why again? Because I missed out on this last session. Why did the Oracle say that you guys us had to do these 3 tasks?
The Oracle
that's at the
just
end of the
kind
prophecy. The end of the prophecy
yeah,
tells us the consequences.
yeah.
So it's not like she said. She just said we will. She said this is the prophecy.
Yeah, she gave us the prophecy, and then we do with it
Yes.
what we will.
Yeah.
But did the
You got a
prophecy
prophecy that is stating that you should, there's this mithril forge thing that you already talked about and know some of now. Then, yeah, you can just,
and then
continue that.
So did
Yeah,
she say someone would do it though? Did she say it was probably
It would be a band of great heroes would do these tasks and would manage uh to actually claim a real victory against the Titans, Sidon and Lutheria.
all right?
Um,
I remember
I can
this clearly.
we can read the end before we read the three tasks if you want to hear
you
the
can do that
consequences.
too, yeah.
Yes.
If you it wraps up with this skipping past the next two tasks. But woe unto thee, for I have seen the end of all things. My father's anger cannot be quelled, and his sister's schemes even now. Your quest may yet fail, and if it should, the sky will rain black fire, and the doom of Thylea will come.
Thylea being both the the world and another Titan technically, and you would know that much.
What does
Yes.
does Kira look shaken by this prophecy?
The great mother of all.
Kara is absolutely invested in it as a kind of as a bard would. First of all, she is kind of shaken anyway because this 500-year peace is coming to an end, and she is actually worried about that. But she keeps just poking you guys in the direction of, well, let's just fulfill the prophecy and get stuff done. That kind of thing. She's not one to worry that much.
So I'm assuming that the forge in Tillamook is probably somewhere in the Cerulean Sea, and then the ancient weapons against the Titans are probably in the Forgotten Sea. And then the last task, the drinking from the dragon's horn, is probably in the Nether Sea. Would be Oresti's guess.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
That's a
sound?
valid guess.
That sound
I'm
about
not
right?
gonna.
Everybody else?
I'm not gonna time into this one though.
Well, the next task being you must claim the mighty weapons wielded against the Titans by the first Dragon Lord. Does anybody know what happened to the weapons wielded by the first Dragon Lord? Is that common knowledge?
Let's find out. Let's see here. Whatever you can
Proteus
get.
kind of chimes in a little bit, and jogs Orestes' memory a little bit with saying, "Well, you're not that far from Astoria right now. You might actually find out some more of the dwarves that live there or that work in the mines up there. They tend to really know a lot about these kinds of stories. Mm, and they might even know where to look for such a forge. I don't know it myself,
What up? Thanks for
but
joining.
Orestes absolutely knows about those mines working in the copper, the copper mines, and that there's a bunch of dwarves that he probably has had some interactions with, mainly just actually exchanging some stories and
So the dwarves of
maybe
the copper
sometimes
mine.
also doing some stuff with them, but
Yeah, so I was afraid this would head down towards one of the cities.
The dwarves of the copper mines. They would know where the weapons are.
They should know the forge at least.
The forge.
Yes, and that should that should bring you there. I'm sure that if you yeah, if you go there, you should find out something about the forge at least. And I'm not entirely sure how much else they might know, but it's a good guess. They might know something.
Place to start. Do we know anything about a bottomless dragon horn?
I think that's just called Solomon.
Orestes, you know that it is
Here and willing.
a
Yes.
story of an actual dragon horn that was that used to belong to a silver dragon who lost his horn fighting against the Gigans. So there's this myth that is kind of, it's not the very widely known, but you would know about that one.
Is it
that there is a horn.
Is that what you just said? Gigantes?
Gigans is actually, it's pretty close to that. It's also a kind of giant.
Okay,
They're
Gigan.
called Gigans.
Probably taken from the Gigants, I believe. All right, so Silver Dragonhorn lost fighting against. Yeah, so do I know what they are? I mean, they're a type of giant. Do I know anything else more about them?
Let me see if you would.
I'd imagine they're tall.
Generally large, yes.
You would absolutely. I think. Let me check. Can maybe give you something.
Oh, and doesn't the prophecy say we have to drink from the horn?
Yeah. It's supposed to be something you like. It's a bottomless horn, as in it's never empty. Or you could tip it over and it would just never empty. And Proteus kind of says, "Oh, I heard that is in the shrine in Astoria. At least that's the last place I know of. They might actually have it as one of their relics there. If it's you might just go and ask there."
I thought it was going to be a waterfall.
Wine and
Well,
women, that's all the cities are
technically,
good for. I will be of no use there, probably only trouble. Someone else will have to take over from there, lest I lead us down a dark alley.
Oh, I could turn the light on. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he's only interested in the red kind. Okay, so it sounds like we begin our journey heading toward Astoria to speak to the dwarves, learn what they have to say, and from there find the forge.
We'll have
and
to
Kara
watch
just
out if
goes,
we.
"Oh yes, we also have the temple there. That Proteus is right. The horn might be there. That would be easy." And she's very excited about the idea.
Well, all this excitement has me wanting to pee now, so I'll be right back.
All right. So you basically did get your healing potions. Each of you got one. You do have this Dragon Lord coin that
Yeah, I wanted to look
might
at that
help
real
you
quick.
somehow.
I
Yeah.
want to get. I'm just gonna get some charcoal out and do a quick
Mhm.
scratching basically to get a print of it in my book,
Yeah.
and then what does it look like?
It is. It's pretty tarnished, and there's obviously it's pretty old. It's a little bit hard to read what's on it, but it's obviously a dragon and a rider on a pretty big coin. Like it's as big as the palm of your hand. It's
Oh
not
wow, okay,
it's not
yeah,
very it's a pretty big one.
it'll take a whole page. I'll do a
It'll
scratching of
take
both sides.
yeah.
Um,
And it will be you can still recognize this
How'd you get
kind
that
of a
coin?
dragon rider symbol on it. Um there's there probably was some kind of writing at some point, but that's pretty much gone, and it seems to just be at the bottom of the picture. Looks pretty ancient though, the whole thing. The other side of it
Mm.
also has this kind of a more of a picture thing. There's not like a value on it or anything. It doesn't necessarily look like something you would put in your pocket and pay with. um it is just a kind of, let's call it a kind of a mandala of horns, like dragon horns, and a kind of
Nice.
could possibly be like, make an investigation check to see how much of the picture you get, like what you interpret it as, at least.
Yeah, I'll definitely take some time, check out the page, and
Yeah.
if Esther's back, I'll
Oh
toss
yeah.
him this huge coin disc. Here you
Mm-hmm.
go. I got what I
Okay.
needed.
So what you think the other side looks like is pretty much like it looks like it might be like water, kind of, then a rising or setting sun, can't tell, and then dragon horns above that. And if you were, because you really roll pretty high, it looks a lot like it might be just a pair of horns for each of the dragons that came. Like from the stories you heard so far, you could probably surmise that it's just a kind of alluding to this, and then the dragon lords came across the waters kind of thing.
Do we know how many dragon lords there were?
You might have not asked anybody yet, I think.
I guess if I saw that on the coin, I would ask.
Yeah.
How many dragon lords were there?
Are you asking just directly Kyra, or?
I'll probably look at Kyra, but I'll glance around at any of the locals in the room.
Okay.
I'll give it my history check. Nope, I have no clue.
Yeah, you know, you're not paying that close attention, which is, I guess, totally fine. It's probably gonna be kind of Kyra and Proteus talking on top of each other for a little bit, but Proteus will shut up as soon as he sees that somebody else is also talking. There have been 5. There's the 5 gods, or dragon. Well, the dragon lords came and got help from the gods, and each of the dragon lords had their own god. So it's 5 of each.
Most interesting.
So you had those 5 majestic dragons. I think that's probably why they put it on these coins as well. 5 majestic dragons coming across the sea. And back then, there must have been Sidon was there as well. So he would have conjured all his storms and all his, everything he can to actually make people not get here. And they braved all the storms on their dragons, got here, and with the help of their gods, managed to help the people. I guess that's what you see on the coin.
Esther is still outside. He's just keeping an eye on it.
Okay.
I guess I'm awkwardly holding this coin like, where did Esther go? I'll call out loudly, Esther! You want the coin? Got what I needed. I just needed a sketch.
He comes running inside, jumps up on your shoulder, grabs the coin, and runs back outside.
I think we're supposed to be the new Dragon Lords, guys.
Oh, on the way out, I'll go, remember, the other guys want to look at it too.
I want to get my own dragon coin.
I mean, if we need to,
I'm sorry, I only have one. Proteus just, chimes in with his own. But this is like a mythical piece of coin, so it's pretty cool that he has one. I mean,
yeah.
So if there's one Dragon Lord for each one of the gods, and we need to wield the weapons of the Dragon Lords, then we're going to need 5 champions?
There's 5 of us, Soren.
Sure, I don't know what I would do without you.
I think I count as 2.
Well,
that's fair. You should have an extra big Dragon Lord and an extra big Dragon Lord weapon.
That's what they charge me. They charge me for extra seats on wagons. It's pretty fucked up. It sizism.
Oh,
it is. Yeah.
Sizism.
That's rough.
Ever heard that? Everybody sit down. I'll educate you this time. Everybody sit down. I'll share some fucking knowledge. All right, you ready for this?
Tell us the story.
That's it. That's all I know about it.
I was ready to hear yours like you heard mine. You were such a good, attentive listener.
Oh, that's what I was told, to just be like, hey, listen up.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. Let's go. We're pulling out.
Well, friends and lovely goddess Kara, it would seem as though our next stop would be the city of Astoria.
Yes, let's go. She's kind of halfway out of the temple. Thanks, Proteus. Bye-bye. She's just off.
Wait, Astoria what?
Are you coming?
Astoria, these 5 dragon lords.
And
Oh,
from even further away, just here, are you coming now?
I'm a dragon lord as I walk outside.
Astoria.
He's just like
Astoria.
I'm following. I'm going.
Esther's standing outside, and Kyra like walks out. He goes, "All right, so this didn't do anything."
The coin, you mean?
Yeah, because he missed all that.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know much about it right now. Yeah.
I've rubbed
we'll
it.
need it in.
I
We'll
had
need it
Squigs lick
in. Nothing worked.
Nothing worked. That was everything I could think of.
Just hold on to it. We might need it in Astoria or somewhere else. Just come. Just
Keep
you
it-
know.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Now, which one of you
I'm
is going?
good at secrets. Tucks it.
Did you try
Which one of
licking
you
it?
is going to steer me out of the halls of debauchery in the seedy alleys, which we'll surely be on our way to soon?
I'm not owning responsibility for that at all. I know you're kind, Satyr.
Oh,
Oh,
I have
I
terrible self-control.
I can
Yeah,
light
yeah.
up any dark alleys you wander in. It's all okay. You just follow me there, buddy.
Maybe we'll show Solomon here some of the good life.
Well, Solomon
Yeah.
does cast a pretty big shadow sometimes.
Especially in the
he's
company
ready
that,
for that.
especially in the company that satyrs keep.
That's all right. I mean, I'm always down to party, play a board game, share some high fives. That's what you're talking about, right?
Or
Yes, yes, exactly. High five.
All right, we're getting
Yeah.
crazy
Solomon,
nasty over
we might
here.
have to have a little conversations.
Go. Don't tell
All
your
the
We're gonna have
parents.
to have a talk.
couple big boy talks on the way to Astoria.
Let's
might
walk and
share a
talk. Let's walk and
soda.
talk.
Just don't pee on any ladies' eggs, and you'll be fine.
We might share a soda because we don't give a dang.
wow.
Take
Yeah,
that, Mom.
you can actually just do just that and do a walk and talk. It'll take you a little bit. You will take the whole day to really get anywhere. But there is a path that joins the main road through that forest. It's kind of by the river, and just usually, if you went just by the path, you wouldn't actually go through this gorge. You would just go, a few hundred feet next to it. You wouldn't actually see it because of the dense forest, usually. So you just have to get back to the. I'll call it a road. It's just, it's a
I feel like
some
during
tracks of a wagon.
during this travel, Orestes and Esther are like doing
Might
doing a lot
have
of
to have a
talking
talk.
towards
Yes.
Solomon, a lot of hand gestures, and a lot
Oh,
of like
yes.
open mouth
Yeah.
by Solomon. Like,
Yeah.
what?
It's just like doing the whole, and then what you do is you put it in the thing. What? Yeah, no, just it's you're probably gonna have to find
Why
someone
would you
closer to
do
your
that?
size. Well, it feels really, really good. You'd be surprised.
Just
Just give them a hug.
It just seems wrong. It
Well, you
seems
can
like
do
how,
that at the
like,
same time, also. But
it's
like,
like
actually, some
corrupting a
some of them
child.
really like it like that, but some of them are more hands offish. So it depends on how much they're worth. And also, if you are in a standing relationship or a not
just
standing
don't pee on
relationship, it all
anybody's
really
eggs,
depends.
and you'll be fine.
Also, probably not the best to listen to. Just make sure it doesn't get stuck in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like a cat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dude, Solomon has severe flashbacks to the caves, and he's like
Oh,
so
yeah.
scared about getting stuck in anything. He's like, I
Yeah.
would never, ever.
Yeah, he will, like,
That's
they
how
will,
Solomon became
talk
Solomon.
to you, at you, whatever. tell you all these things, while Kyra just tells probably, anybody who cares to listen. She's just like, yeah, it's all nice what Proteus said about being, proper heroes and being, careful at the same time, and it's all difficult and all that, but kind of forget maybe what he said a little bit. I mean, you will be able to become very, very famous, and it'll be beyond all of your wildest dreams, I'm sure. And I'm sure you all want to be famous, of course. Um,
Famous? No, I hate
Well,
being hungry.
how 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 rich is famous?
I mean, as rich as you like, more, I would say. I mean, it's not
All
that
right,
I
that sounds
need
good.
any money. Usually, I mean, when you're famous enough, you can kind of pay anything with your name. You know.
Yeah,
Fame
Oh well,
yeah. When you're
fame
that
famous,
does
sounds
you
a
don't spend any money on food because you'd have nothing to eat. You're just famous all the time.
Which
Oh.
so you just be able to just like save up all your money and then go buy like airship or something. Speaking of which, we got to really talk about this no airship situation. And now that we have an actual god here, I would really like to know if there's a way we can make that work out.
Oh, Esther, we did find out that there used to be 5 dragon lords.
Five of
Are
them.
you
Yep.
All
talking
right.
about
Hey, there's 5 of us, and I already got a dragon, so we got like a real good head start going on.
what does
That's
an
that's
airship
right.
do? What is it for? What is this airship you talk about? What do you mean? I mean, I
You
know
can
ships.
fly through the sky with all of us, no problems, real fast. Land wherever you
You
want.
just take a dragon for that.
Look, yeah, but if
Really
we
looks
got
at you
5
very
dragons,
confused.
see, look at Squigs right now. See that?
Yes.
You think I could
Oh,
ride
he's
that?
very cute. Um,
I mean,
no,
weird
you
fucking
couldn't. Obviously,
flex,
you need an,
Kira.
So airship
Weird
till we
fucking
get
flex.
dragon big enough to ride. You know what I'm saying? It's
Maybe
kind
if
of
we get 'em-
intermediary. It's what I'm used to. I'm used to being on an airship.
oh, I
Uh,
understand.
I've researched my way through here. I found Squigs after I lost my airship, but now it only seems right to get him back in the sky. See the sky before he can fly on his own. I think it would be amazing.
She's kind of as you talk to her and kind of describe what an airship does. She starts drawing a drawing of what she thinks would be an airship, which looks a lot like a mixture between a dragon and a ship.
I'm like, oh,
So
I
it's
mean,
it's a little bit like a dragon with sails.
you're ballparking it. Here, give me that. And he just takes it and he starts like actually drawing out the schematics for his ship because he knows
Okay.
it all by heart. And so he just
Okay.
starts to drawing out. He like does the outside of it, draws the whole like schematics, the blueprint. He's like handing her page after page. So this is how it works. See, here's how the lift works. Then you use all the crystals here for the
This is
thrust
so
and things like that.
complicated.
And well, yeah, hey, what do you think it does? Just magic? It's also science. You got to have science in everything you do nowadays. So, well, I guess where I'm from here, I think you guys are all backwards as shit, but it's all right. So he
He's
like keeps
trying
going
not to
in
look a
about like
little
all
bit.
the magical.
Yeah.
Like it's like no offense or anything, but like gods don't have like direct intervention all the time where we're from. It's pretty rare.
So what
It's
do they
mostly
do?
us
Are they
kind of
just
doing.
bored all the time?
Well, I mean, you can go to their dimension or anything like that. They mostly pick champions and play games with people's heads. Every once in a while, one will step up and do something. But people have gotten pretty much to where they can handle everything themselves almost where I'm from. There's always
Well, that
the
sounds
heroes and
like
things like that, supported by the gods. They do directly help us out and things like that. But it's more like boons and powers and favors and things.
Sounds kind
well,
of
we
boring to me.
do also. Yes, I mean, what would you do? I mean, I wouldn't even know. I mean, I need
You
all
go
the
to
stories. I
ships.
can't even imagine. I would just sit around all day and play games. Um, that would get boring after, at least a millennium or something.
It's true, but it is also the
But
case
sure.
from where we're from that regular humans have gotten powerful enough to become gods as well. I'm
Well,
just
that's another story, though. But
that
speaking
is a
of
totally
which,
different
I'm
story.
sure that the great labors are really just the beginning. And if you become famous enough, and if you manage to, rise against the Titans and kill the Titans or confront them and do whatever it takes to make them submit to you, then I'm sure you will pretty much be immortal, at least in the stories and poems of this land.
Oh,
Maybe
okay, I
more.
thought you were like for real, immortal, and I was like, I don't know about all that. Like, I like having a timer on all this fun.
Well, let's say we just see where it goes, maybe. And she just, still kind of just going ahead, walking up the road. It's a nice day too. Pretty quickly. She's
Wait, hold
pretty
on.
driven.
Do dragons live forever? Because I mean, I don't think they live forever, ever. I know they live a really long time, but like forever, ever. Because if he lives forever, ever, then yeah, I guess maybe I'm in.
Just a tiny bit of trouble.
Yeah, he's just like, I was like, hold on, wait, hold on. He can't live forever, and then me not live forever. How am I gonna? Nah, I can't leave my baby. So I guess I'm in. I guess we do this whole immortality thing.
Well, so basically, what I would always say is fame is definitely the path to immortality. And she
Oh, you
just
mean like
walks
I mean,
along.
fame does open
she
doors, and that
she
would.
does.
I do plan on learning everything your world has to provide, so I could go
Yeah,
for
when
some fame.
you're hungry, it feels like a moment lasts
Yeah,
forever.
like fame.
Oh yeah. As she kind of walks
Oh,
and you're kind of getting closer to the city. She'll also tell you one more thing that you might consider. She kind of gets a little bit thoughtful. There's just one problem with this whole fame thing. If you're not very careful about it, in all the stories, there's always a group that does that somehow. Um, one hero just tends to, outshine the rest and become the one that everybody talks about, which usually ends up with the hero dying heroically, and it's all very, very cool, but it's also their death. Because
that sounds counterproductive.
yes, there's this thing with being famous and then just getting too much into it getting too much into your head and just dismissing any friends you might have. It
I
is
think
not a good idea to do that. So just be very careful to, maybe stay together as a group and don't just fall apart like that. I don't know any story where that went right.
I
I
think
mean,
that
I'm more than okay not being the most famous.
we've gone through enough adventures together that we all recognize that Squigs is gonna excel no matter what, and we're all here to support him.
I can actually,
Uh,
I can fully agree with that. Squiggs
but
is the
wait,
star of the show.
doesn't that? Never mind. Never mind.
Well, in our world, we usually we have this. You probably have noticed by now. We have this thing with oaths. So you could, of course, just swear an oath of fellowship to each other. That would be one way to do it. At least that's what we do. That would mean you are bound by an oath, as I am to you already. Yes, it's something you can consider. Uh, but the most important thing is that we definitely go and find all these things and do whatever it takes to actually get rid of the Titans. Let's go. And she just keeps
He is
walking ahead. You see the first few farms
really
popping
about
up.
this right now.
In our land, we put our hands in the center and we all count to a number that I don't understand, and we all yell the same thing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, wait, is there like
I'm just
upsides to this?
imagining.
Like, do we get like?
I'm just imagining like paladin school with all these himbos like putting their
Yeah.
Like
hands.
we say,
They're all
yeah.
putting their hands in and like cheering together, wearing short shorts and no shirts, like fucking
like
flag
we
football every Saturday.
like we say,
Yeah.
"Hey, Bahamut, go team!" or "Yes, go Mighty Ducks."
Exactly.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love that world. I'm gonna go live in it.
Yeah.
A single tear rolls down Solomon's cheek.
Oh,
Aw.
the good old days.
Good old brotherhood.
My the first D&D game I ever played in, my wife made a paladin training camp, and now in my head, my head canon is that you went to school at that training.
Aw.
I sure did. Let her know.
Oh my god, yes.
Just I don't know why, just
Perfect.
because it fits too perfectly.
Just fucking
It
Solomon embraces.
So good.
Is
She
there
was a paladin
anything
of a
you want to
hobbit
do
too.
while? Oh, nice. Is
I
there
actually
anything you want to do while you're traveling? You
how
have
long?
1 day of whatever you want to do.
I
Well,
want to just
plus
kind of
walking.
ask a few questions about Astoria. Like, how large is it? Is it a big city or is it a smaller city?
What's
It's not the
biggest?
biggest city there. It's not as big as Mithras.
Was it large enough to have libraries and temples, or is it?
Wizard asking about libraries. It's just a thing. um, yeah, I mean,
Well, our plan is still to get to a library at some point so we can actually get a map because we still have no idea what we're doing. Like now
yeah.
we do have a guide and everything, but I would still really like to get my hands on a map.
Yeah.
It'd be a pretty helpful thing to have.
We've been looking for a map for like
It was like our
three
first goal.
three
We
real
Since you
months.
started in this world. What you would know, Orestes, you know that because you have been there before, messing with a lot of people in the city, but you know,
Oh, we got
still
another
know
viewer.
some
That's
stuff.
good.
You know that there's the Agora, like the market area, where you know, you probably never really looked for books, but who knows?
Yeah, but
You
it's a big.
also, yeah, it's a place that does definitely have, you know, people. There's you can buy stuff.
You can find anything you want in the market there.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a market.
I find
Okay,
You
everything.
also definitely know because you kind of got told that there's also a shrine there, which might not sell books, but might still, you know, have some books there.
Are there temples to all the gods in Astoria, or is each god favor a certain community?
mm, I'm not sure if you would know exactly how it works, but you, what Orestes can absolutely tell you is that it's not the kind of capital. And in the capital, there absolutely is a shrine to the 5 gods. Like it's a
Yeah, I was also gonna
an actual
want to ask.
shrine that for each of them.
But which one
to
does
learn more of
Astoria
the
favor
gods.
then?
LeBron James.
I was
Astoria
gonna
is
ask
more. Astoria is definitely due to reasons that you might also know. I think. Let me check, but I'm pretty sure you would.
Astoria.
I was also gonna ask if we have to get favor from each of the gods to like one for each of us, like the original Dragon Lords. If that was gonna be a thing we have to do.
Well, we know
You
we gotta
already
wield
kind
the
of got
weapons.
one kind of.
I know we got Kyra already, but I was saying, are
Mhm.
we gonna need to get the favor from all of them, like the original Dragon Lords, to win this?
Well, Kyra can tell you just about. Not sure how that works exactly. It should, if it wasn't in the prophecy directly, it'll probably come up if it needs to be done in some way. I think let's look for the clues we have and then figure it out from there. I'm really not sure. I mean, you know, we haven't done exactly that before. There's no story that tells you exactly what's going to happen next. So I'm a little bit unsure myself. But I'm sure if you help us get some kind of peace in this land, you will have you will by default have, you know, the thanks of all the gods. I can tell you that much.
So, you're saying if we do this, we'll get the things of the gods.
I'm
But my
sure. I mean,
question
the
was,
whole.
my question was,
Yes.
in order to succeed,
Yes.
do we need the help of all the gods? Like, I get it if we complete it, they'll obviously be really happy with us, but do we need to
Yes.
make them happy first in order to not all die? Like,
Well, it's.
because you're saying each of the gods represented one of the dragon lords,
Mm-hmm. Well, each of them
and
had
they
their own. Yeah.
are
Mm-hmm.
all dead now.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no idea who was supported by what dragon lord. We don't even know what types of dragons that each of them like had specifically. We don't know like what blessings or boons they given them. We don't know how the
Mm-hmm.
gods even helped them. I was like, I would
Mm-hmm.
assume that you supported one of them and you helped somebody. What did you do to do that, and how hard was it? You know what I'm saying? Like he's just trying to like get as
Mm-hmm.
much information about this coming fight because she was a part of that fight. She should be able to tell
Yeah.
us a whole lot more about what happened than she is.
You know what? Make a persuasion check. I want to see how well you persuade a god to tell you more than she wants to.
This is gonna be great.
By the way, on this
Can I
You're
get
so
trip,
help
good
from
at
Squigs?
all
Soren
Solomon,
kind of steps to the side before you get smote.
Yeah.
all Solomon's doing this whole trek is like walking around asking everybody about like stories, like a little kid. Like
Nice.
he
Mm-hmm.
wants to hear about Sherwood's wife. He wants to like hear about like stories from Esther's hunting, all that shit. And like he's talking to Orestes and wants to hear about like just good shit, and that's all he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Orestes is going to look at Esther and be like,
Yeah.
the lady will tell us what she feels we need to know.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. She can feel like we need to know all this, but I need to know all this. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
So, Solomon, have you ever heard the story of Bahamut as told by the Dragon Lords?
No,
What?
what's it about?
And then I'll go walk off with him and make up a story about Dragon Lords and Bahamut.
God damn it.
Sweet. Oh
Perfect.
yeah, I'm not even gonna roll. I'm
Perfect.
into that shit.
Oh yeah.
My sincerest apologies, Kyra, for these companions.
Yeah.
Not always know
Listen
they're
here, you ain't
that.
got to apologize for me. I ain't sorry for nothing. I'm trying to figure out information that might get us save our lives. You want to be sorry
She just
about that? That's
smiles at you.
ridiculous.
I really appreciate that you're so eager. I think that's perfect, actually.
I'm eager to not die. I still want to do
That
this
is a
because I
very
like the
good
whole
outlook on life.
hero thing. That's pretty much my whole goal of life is to not die. So that's been pretty much MO from day one. And I've done a lot of things in order to maintain that status quo, and I will do whatever it takes to maintain that status quo as well as that status quo for all of my friends and allies here. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
need a little bit more. Like, you were there, you fought. Who did you support? What weapons did he have? You were there. You can't tell us?
Well, the thing is, we got summoned there, and things were already in motion, so I can't tell you all about it.
Oh, so you were already there when they were all there, so you could tell us more
Yes.
about all of them, not just yours. That's what
Uh,
you're saying.
Well, in a way. Let me tell you
What they
that
look like.
much. It is. Do you mean what the gods looked like?
No, I'm
Because
talking about
they
the
shift
Dragon
form a
Lord.
lot.
Yeah, I
And
was
she
gonna say,
just
that's
goes
ridiculous to ask
into.
what a god
She
looks like.
kind of copies Orestes for a second, just for a little bit,
No.
a second or two. She kind of looks like him, and then
I'm
goes
looking for
back.
important information on our part. I get that I cannot. Obviously, you are way more powerful and trickier than I could ever be. I get that. But you guys supported individuals who were rather powerful and very helpful
Yeah.
to save this world. Now you're asking us to save this world, but you're not telling us everything, and that is real sus to me. I'm just saying, you know it. You were there. You seen them all. You met them all. You know what they did. You know, it's
Well, the
just like
Dragon Lords were
we're-
really, really powerful. I can tell you that much. And they were powerful before they even summoned us. I mean, they were Dragon Lords. It's not something you just become by being weak, I guess.
So,
they did summon us, and we did support them, of course. The thing is, Titans are also very, very powerful. They make up the land more or less, and used to be where all of this came from. So what really happened is that two very high powers just kind of clashed because none of the sides wanted to give, obviously. Uh, they were the dragon lords were really adamant about protecting the people that had gotten into this land as well, while all the other creatures seemed to be very, very adamant in driving them out. And we didn't actually like the slaughter that occurred around that time. So, of course, we helped. As gods, yes, we do have our powers, but I think we're less vengeful than Poseidon is and than Lutheria is, although she seems to be more the crazy type. But Poseidon definitely doesn't like it when he isn't worshipped. We do need our followers, and we do have them. So, unless you're actively against any of us gods, I think you should be fine.
I don't think. All right, I'm pretty sure now you're just actively avoiding trying to tell me anything useful. I'm like 90% sure that you know all this information, and now we're just gonna go off to our deaths just for you. Just because you won't tell us like what weapons they had, what was his name? What's this guy? Who had this one? Job, Jason, Mixopixus. What did his dragon look like? Like
He just
it's just like
smiles at you
it's just cool.
in a very wide smile, and then looks over. So, Resties, tell me, did you have any new stories? She's just kind of.
Fucking hate gods. This is why I like dragons. Dragons are so much better. They're easier to sway. Just give them money. This is bullshit.
Oh,
We're all gonna die.
you
Wonderful. Come on,
Valid
Squid.
attempt,
Let's go.
but not with a 4. She's just gonna bullshit you some more if you try.
I whip around and turn to
Why is nobody else concerned about this?
turn to
This is very
Esther
concerning to me.
I say, life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle.
I'm scouting ahead. This is bullshit.
Now, see,
Perfect.
the thing about the God that you need to understand there, Esther, is it's just well, they say stuff and you don't really understand it. You just kind of say, "Oh yeah, that sounds good," and you just keep on moving forward and you do what you know is right.
Well, my god's a dragon. He's very, very straightforward. He goes, "Hey, go make money, get famous. Boom. That's your goals in life."
Yeah, but see, if your dragon God were to talk to me like that, I wouldn't have a darn clue what he was saying.
Do you not know what money is, Sherwin?
Well, I do, I do know what money is, but
His whole goal is get a whole lot of that.
he'd be like, rawr, 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 rawr. I heard how you talk to Squigs before.
That's because you don't speak Draconic.
Well, maybe we're just not speaking the same language as Kyra over there. Maybe
I feel like she's speaking this. I feel like, hold on, watch this. I say something to Kyra in Draconic, and I call her like a name, not a really rude one, but just more snide remarks from me towards her in Draconic, and see if she responds.
Okay, let me do a thing that I'm not gonna tell you what it is. We'll still be nice and roll something. I'll have to hide it.
I basically say like doing nothing is killing us just the same.
Okay. And she will. Let me see if we can.
See, Esther, I feel like you were making a good point right there, but see, you just lost me again. I have no idea what you just said.
Okay.
Wait for it. She's probably gonna cuss me out in Draconic.
Oh, wow.
You don't. She doesn't seem to react.
See, remember, she doesn't speak that way either.
Nah, she's just fucking with me some more.
Let me see. I want to see what happens now.
Oh,
This will
man,
be nice.
A waking
Uh,
nightmare every day. That's just still in Draconic, just like fucking been a waking
yeah,
nightmare ever since I got here. I was just so
yeah,
happy I got a dragon.
61.
Gonna be a dragon lord, and then they're like, nope, you're gonna die. Gonna be great.
Um,
Nobody likes
all
mysteries. Just
around,
tell us the answer.
all around Esther, the little bit of grass on this path that you're on suddenly just shoots up. So it's higher than Esther's head, and it kind of continues whenever you take a step. It just does the same thing. So you're now kind of leaving this, like you're always in the middle of a bunch of very, very tall grass.
No.
Oh,
Nothing else
very
happens.
funny.
Esther,
Very funny.
where'd you go there, Esther?
For the next
Oh,
minute,
man.
wherever
My
you step,
goddamn man.
all the plants around you just grow, so you're not actually visible. It's just a kind of a bunch of grass moving, and the grass stays that
All
long.
right. Yeah. Very mature, Kyra. Very mature.
She just chuckles to herself and
This is
doesn't
great.
otherwise react to you. It's like, oh,
Just
I
as
think
helpful
there's
as
something in the
everything
bush
else
over
you've
there.
done so far.
What?
Oh, God.
Watch out for arrow traps in there, Esther. They come from the craziest places.
He just starts whipping arrows out everywhere.
See, I told you. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Everybody, watch out of
you
the
know, you
get out
can
of the
try to
grass.
mow it down, but it's always gonna grow. It's just gonna be there for like a minute or so. It doesn't last forever, but for a little bit of time, you're just walking in very, very, very tall grass, and you leave this weird track of grass behind you.
Every few seconds, I'm just like, are we done yet? Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna stop. I just want you to know that. Like
Yeah, yeah,
this is going to be a continuous line of questioning for as
absolutely.
long as we
Yeah,
are still breathing, which at this
yeah.
rate, not very long. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
this is great. I'm scouting ahead. I can see so much right now. This
yeah,
is fantastic. Just another thing
yeah.
to help us putter on our way through.
Kind of
It's
just
okay.
chuckles and,
Esther,
enjoys
Solomon,
himself.
come put me on your shoulders. Solomon, come put me on your shoulders.
oh no, I don't let people ride on me.
Yep.
But
I can never decline a request. So for someone to hop on my
Look at that
shoulders,
record.
get up here, bud.
Let's
Get
go.
up.
All right. Just fucking just jumps up there. He goes, all right, now I can see over this guy. Oh shit, it's still growing. Solomon, can you see down there?
don't worry,
This is-
guys.
So
I feel
all
like
that
she thought
happens
of
is
this.
really it still grows up to that it can grow up to about 10 feet. So if you manage to get up to over 10 feet high, you can actually look out. If you
How
don't,
tall
you're
are
just
you?
I'm 7 feet tall. I'm
so I
actually
think you
Yeah, I
can
am
if you're
6 feet tall. So yeah, I just be
you'll have
barely
to
popping
stand on
my head and
shoulders.
just
Yes. But Solomon will then walk in the grass.
tap on this side, you go that way. So we're going straight for now. Ha!
Perfect.
See? This is why the gods don't bother us.
just tell me left. Just tell me left or right because I'm amping.
Orestes, you're the one who
Okay,
knows
that's-
first that you're arriving
I'm gonna
kind
do
of
it. I'm gonna
getting
go
to
with the
the
taps.
city.
So
I'll
we
put
did
you
we
over.
did one night out in the forest, and this is the next day.
You're kind of arriving there in the evening. You're kind of, it's a pretty fast pace you're walking at. Kyra is just pretty much just pushing you on. Just, let's go. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Finally,
Um,
And
civilization.
I'm playing over.
Oh, she's
your bug in
pushing all right. All my buttons.
Well, I
and
didn't know you had
do
buttons,
come
Esther.
you do come into the or arrive close to the city when it's getting like the sun is about to set.
That you
It's
cut
kind
out.
of getting a little bit darker.
Which way are we coming in?
You're coming from the south, from the
Okay.
forest. So
Alright.
you would know a little bit before you even arrive that close to the city that it's coming up. There's going to be a few vineyards on the way, a few little paths that lead to a vineyard. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't like cities a whole lot except for the
Yeah.
wine part, which they do so
Yeah.
well here. So,
Exactly.
so we're here to where the wine is. All right, then off to the wine.
The
You
whole
would
time that
definitely,
Esther is
yeah.
just like, sorry, Esther's just like, so, men, all of them, 1, 2, 3, women, couple of them, you never know. The Wilhelmina, Wilhelm, Solomon, could have been a Solomon. Yeah, there might have been an Esther too. You never know. He just stop me when I get to
Mhm.
one. He's just this the whole time. He's just listing
Yeah.
names, like saying genders, like how
Mhm.
tall were they? 6'5", 6'4", 3 feet, 2 feet. How big was the dragons? Jai, little, squig size? Were they tiny? Dragon lords, like 2 inches tall, riding on top of squigs? I don't know. Could be anything at this point.
Yep.
Just pestering the shit out of her. He's just like, he's
Yep.
like,
She generally
that game.
tends to not exactly ignore you, but you you have this this moment of, oh shit, what happened? And you're suddenly are
You're
very, very
picking up for
tall.
me.
We're very tall.
I
You're
can't
just Esther is
hear
just
you. I don't.
be-
You said there's a moment.
okay.
Said
I'll
you're very
just-
tall, as Solomon yells up to him. Very tall.
I have no idea what just
Well,
happened.
me grows.
Hey,
It
Esther.
cut out at like
if-
right when you said something was about to happen, and
Yeah,
I didn't hear any of that.
Hey,
Oh,
Esther. I'll
she
tell
just.
you
I
right.
just wrote it down.
There you
Oh.
So Esther just suddenly kind of becomes a giant version of Esther.
Oh my.
Oh well, this is odd.
And it's pretty it's very close to the city. He's now taller than the gate. Like he's not taller than the whole city gate, but he's taller. He would have to duck down to actually go through. It's about 10 feet of gate to go
Everybody's
through the clearance.
everybody's got a limbo at some
So-
point in their life.
He just starts nodding. He just starts nodding. He goes, "All right. I mean, I can do this all day." And he just starts going right back to Quincy, like ducking way under the gate. He's just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
you need it.
if you're
So
12
you're
feet
not gonna
tall,
kill me, but
I need Esther's deep voice. I need to hear that Esther deep voice, baby. Let's go.
well, this is like as deep as I can go, like physically. I do not have a very deep voice.
So the thing is, when you get to the gate, there you have some wagons. You see a few carts with very, very thin oxen in front of them. Like they really look famished and not well. The farmers also look kind of haggard and not that happy. It's a pretty warm, sunny day.
What's up with the? Oh, sorry. Keep going.
And they're all kind of, none of them look very happy. There's also a couple that's just driving in a pair of, looks like just sheep that have been shorn. Yeah, and you get to the gate, but you will see just some guards posted to the left and right of it. Do you want to do anything when you get there, or just ask Kara what to do? What would you like to do about that?
I'll hold something into the city until somebody stops me.
Yeah, sure. Nobody will stop you.
Oh, you
Okay.
folks
They'll
over
just
there. What's
look
going
very,
on?
very
Looks like you
curiously
guys are
at
really
the
hungry.
very, very tall Esther.
Yeah, the giant
Um,
cat now.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's definitely not gonna go for asking Kyra what to do because she's obviously been super helpful so far.
Yeah.
And he's gonna like lean down and kind of be like, "Looks like your animals are a bit malnourished. There's a food shortage or something going on."
One of the guards just looks at you very, very. It's not surprised. He's seen you for a while. It's just he's confused. Um,
Don't
well,
worry, this is
there's-
temporary. Just someone played on me.
Sidon has
It
been
should go away
refusing
at
rain.
some point.
We have not had any water.
That's
You kind of you hear the river
rain.
by the side.
That's it.
It hasn't been
You
raining
got a
here
lake or a
forever.
river somewhere around, make a aqueduct.
Oh, there's
Oh,
we
forever.
have
That's
the
a long
big
time.
hills around here. We would have to that would be we can't just, get channels through all of that. And it's really hills on all sides, just the south is kind of changing into forest. Um and yeah, the vineyards, you see a little bit of them, are usually more on the higher ground, and then kind of have one of the hillsides to grow their grapes on. And yeah, it's the wrong kind of it's the wrong way. They would have to actually get the water up there. The same with some of the fields that you see around there. They tend to be higher than the city. The
I
guard
see.
just tells you, well, if you're,
All right.
I'm sorry to say that, but if you're wanting to get into the city, first of all, please don't break anything. I'm sorry if that's rude. And also,
Oh, I
we don't
normally
have.
wouldn't have any problem with that, but right now I don't know where my feet are.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that. um, please be careful. And if you're planning on going into any of the inns, we don't actually have rooms that would accommodate anybody your size. Uh, but you might ask at the stables. He says that, and just like to
Funny how
more
that
the
would
rest of the
be a
group.
problem, isn't it?
Kyra just grins very much, waves at the other guard, who seems to be happy to see her. And Kyra just waltzes in. Are the others just following? Or do you also want to ask anything? Or
No, Soren is
So yeah,
following.
I ask their names, and then immediately walk up to Kyra and ask if their names are also names of one of the Dragon Lords.
okay, the first guard that you see there is called Alexis, like that. That's the one you have been talking to.
Hey Alexis, you're supposed
And
to
the
say
other
beep
one
boop.
is Arrow Eaters, like that. And that's a woman. Yes, Orestes has been going right through the gate.
Come on.
And you might have.
It was a good time.
Yeah. You might have been actually. If you're kind of being nice about it and telling them what you might have told them that you're at the Dragon's Tooth, which is the tavern in town that you probably like to frequent anyway.
Yeah, Solomon keeps walking back and forth between the party. He doesn't like the party. He's like a lost dog.
Okay. So the parts of the party that went to the Dragon's Tooth, I'll tell you where on the map you are.
I think those two might be on right now, but I think it would help for all of us to know.
Yeah, I'll just tell you where they are though, because you're walking back and forth, and that's kind of a little bit of a walk. They're up here. That's the tavern. This building complex here.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they kind of they walk across the town. Passing by the Agora, the marketplace, and just pretty much just walking down the main street, going right to the inn.
Okay.
You might very well with that and
Just
seeing
make sure I don't get
who's
lost.
leaving.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's all it was.
You're not getting lost, but you kind of lose the two of the party at the Agora.
Yeah.
The shadows are getting long. You're not
I'm definitely
exactly
going.
sure where they went.
I'm going to the temple. I'm going to ask the people at the temple there, hey, which of the gods gets along with Kyra the least? Because they're who I'm supporting.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Okay.
How do I get their favor?
This is
Wow.
escalating quickly. This is escalating
I
very
mean, behind you,
quickly.
you're gonna hear like,
Still on the same side as everyone else. I still
And
want
this
to
is
beat the Titans and
this is how
like
one of the
nail
Dragon
the
Lords fell
Dragon
to the
Lords.
Titans.
Perfect.
But
Just
100%,
perfect.
I'm going to find the god that just like, even if it's one that was like you know how like uh Hermes like really didn't like Hera,
Mm-hmm.
but they were still gods on the same side of the pantheon.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of like what it is. I'm looking for that relationship. Like,
So
who
the
annoys
temple's over
her
here.
as much as she annoys me? That's who I'm looking for. Like,
Okay. Yep, I mean, sure. The temple's over here. It's like it would be the eastern side of the city. Actually
Solomon just
walking
sees
by the palace.
Esther walked by, and he's just like, I think our friends went over the. Okay, well,
Yeah,
boy
never mind.
again.
oh, they'll be all right.
Then
I'm not
I'm definitely gonna.
blind or anything.
I'm definitely just going with Soren. Wherever the fuck Soren goes, I'm going.
Okay.
He told
Yeah.
me these
So
cool ass
Soren, where would
stories
you
earlier.
want to go? Yeah, you can put exactly. That's the temple. The people. I can put the two into the tavern already.
Well, I
Just
definitely know I
random.
don't want to follow Orestes and where he's going. So
Okay.
And
yeah,
I think that Esther's making a big mistake.
he's
Solomon,
talking very roughly and frankly to a
just
god. You know, like we don't even know anything about these gods. Like she says she's not vengeful, but what god calls themselves vengeful? You know what I mean? Like I'm
That
just
is a
saying, there's
true thing.
a lot
I
of
don't even
unknowns
know how to
here.
spell God.
she's
He's just
obviously
nodding at you.
spiteful. All right. Look, let's be real here.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
a different
there's
one. A
what if there's
different one.
what if there's a greater purpose in her not telling us?
Solomon
What
just
if
Then
listening.
she
what
could
if
tell us that.
what if by telling you it dictated your future actions, and as a result we lost against the Titans by you knowing too much about the previous Dragon Lords? Because then we
Solomon,
wouldn't discover our own way
Oh
of doing
man,
it. We
I
would just do what they did.
sure do.
Solomon's doing
I-
the hype man shit where every time Soren says
I
something, he's just
really
like, oh
Yeah.
taking a
shit.
different one.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Jumping around and shit. Like,
I sure
oh,
do miss
yeah.
my greed, God. He was really nice and easy to deal with.
Well, you know, I do have a list of the gods. If you want to go over them real quick, I can tell you which one
I was
Yeah.
seems
thinking
most
I
like.
could just talk to a priest and then maybe get an inside get inside. Well, I guess can I fit in
Right
there? I don't
now,
know. We'll see.
Esther can't actually, unless Soren went with Esther, you wouldn't be able to actually talk that much because you're gonna be
Oh yeah, you're super
you're
giant.
gonna be separated. Esther pretty much went straight to the like he had to ask around, but it's easy enough to find. It's not a huge town. You will find the temple.
Yeah, we'll walk with Esther on the way to the temple.
Okay, yeah. So that would mean that Solomon would also come with them. I'll just put you all over
We
here.
already
kind of.
split the party.
Yep, I'm
Yeah, you
going
totally
wherever
did.
it's going.
I'll say that Kyra actually went
Along
with
the way, I'm telling Solomon this story about how Pythor and Bahamut were like best buddies, and they help us Dragon Lord like beat these giant titans, and it was like this really cool story of
Nice.
Bahamut
Perfect.
teaming up with Pythor and the Dragon Lords.
Yeah, perfect.
Now, they made me read a lot about Bahamut, but just tell him he's a lot better because I don't know if I really read anything.
I definitely looked at squiggles on a page. What they meant, though, I have no
shit.
Who
idea.
knows? Yeah.
Just waited till they said, "All right, class, that's enough," and you're like, "All right, I don't know what that was for."
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, you do arrive at the temple, and the others, I'll say that Kyra went with the party that's actually going to the tavern. Um, so you have those two parts of the party now. What would you? Yeah, Orestes is absolutely getting drunk. Is there anything you want to do in the tavern except for drinking and maybe chatting up some people
Sing and
of all
dance.
shapes and sizes?
Sing and dance like I know a secret that nobody else does because I got a goddess hanging out
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah. All right.
I'm back. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, no problem. You went to the tavern together with Orestes. Orestes is just singing and dancing and drinking and having a great time. What are you gonna do in the tavern?
I would
Kyra is also there, but the others aren't.
I would probably order some food.
Mhm.
Probably hungry. What kind of dishes do they have?
They currently they have a little like a menu board in the back of the bar. Most of the stuff is actually just kind of crossed out on it. But they do have a little bit of bread and some wine and some olives as well.
You guys don't have
Seems
fish.
like
You
a
have
lot
chicken.
of the food is actually currently not available, but some basic stuff and some dried. It's probably just goat meat.
You'll
Like
have
Everything's
there's
wrapped.
no other meat than goat meat.
Everything's
I mean,
wrapped in
everything to fill your
grape
belly.
leaves.
Uh,
A lot of it is wrapped in something, yeah.
All of it's wrapped in grape leaves, and it comes with tzatziki sauce.
uh, I'd probably get some bread and some wine and dunk the bread in the wine
hmm
and just try to really get everything together on my palate.
Okay. Yeah, the stuff isn't really expensive here. You'll get all that like just for you for one person. It'll just be if you're getting a good portion, it's gonna be a silver piece if you're really getting enough to basically eat for it would probably be enough for two, but it's a good portion for one. Um
Is
so yeah, you
is
can totally get that.
is the bar packed or like?
There's a few people there. It's not really packed, no, but there's people there. There's some mumbling. People are talking. Looks like a lot of farmers.
If Orestes' mom's there, I'm leaving.
No, they're talking about Kyra.
Oh.
Yeah, the goddess, his goddess.
Oh,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, hey, I'm out. Okay.
I mean, wouldn't his mom be a nymph? That might be a good reason to stay.
Sherwin is, he's loyal to one that is
Mhm.
the one that is passed. So, yeah, any kind of peanut
Yeah.
on eggs, he's not into it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So while you're
No
just
shell rub
kind
for
of relaxing,
Sherwin.
Kyra's just gonna talk to a bunch of people there. Kind of make her rounds. Just ask for news, basically. Yeah, and just busy herself doing that, talking to a bunch of people. What do the other ones want to do? You're at the temple.
Oh, my plan
It's
has
called the
not
Dragon
changed.
Shrine.
Going in there, seeing if they'll give me any information, and also figuring out what god is like not cool with Kyra.
hmm
Like one of them that just jabs her in the ribs all the time.
Okay.
I want one that's annoying to her as she is to me
Okay.
right
Yeah,
now.
that makes total sense.
And I'm figuring
Um,
out how to make him my homie.
yeah, you walk in there, you see a couple of people just cleaning the temple, obviously being some kind of acolytes. Do you want to ask for some kind of head person of the temple there, or do you just ask an acolyte?
I would
Who do you
ask
want to talk to?
I would ask to talk to somebody who has a vast knowledge of the gods.
Okay. um, some of the acolytes will just point towards kind of the back, but also a little bit to the side. There's a little an alcove, and in there you see a door. And you can knock on the door or not if you want to just rush in. What would you like to do?
He'll knock.
Okay. And from the other side, you'll
And I would
hear.
say that Squigs has been wrapped around my wrist this whole time, but when he knocks,
Okay.
he goes Squigs, shoulder up. And then he
Okay.
crawls up and he sits on the shoulder.
Sure. So from the other side, you just hear yes. And can just walk in if you want to, or talk through
I
the
can't
door.
really fit through your door. Sorry. He just kind of like opens it up and like, I got a trick played on me by God, and I got some questions.
Yeah. You see an
I mean, I could try
obviously
and
elvish
squeeze in
person.
there, but it's gonna be a little awkward.
How tall is the ceiling inside the room?
Inside the room, it's about like 3 feet to the like the it's a 6 feet room, and then you have a kind of a little area that's a bedding area that's like a 3 feet high area. So you kind of have just a bunk. The rest of the room is 6 feet.
Okay, so
and there's a guy just sitting on the bed.
That's her room, right? What about the outside chambers where we're
The
at right
outside chambers is still pretty, like, for you currently it's pretty low. The highest point is 10 feet.
Okay, so
and it is a
you can
pretty big dome.
crouch through and like.
You can absolutely do that. It's just going to be a little bit iffy at the entrance, but you're going to manage, and you're not going to destroy the stone pillars around it.
I mean, I can get you inside, but you're gonna have to sit down before you get big again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I guess. You said it was a male, or it was a female?
Yeah, it's an elf. Looks a bit androgynous, as elves tend to. Probably male. Looks pretty young, but deceptive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but they're elves, so I would say, excuse me, in Elvish, I'd start to speak to him. Be like, I could really use a hand. I can't really make it into your room, but if you would be willing to come and have a sit out here with me and my friends and have a little chat, we are new to this entire world, and have many questions about many things. First of all, which god does Kyra dislike the most? Still a god. I don't want titans, but just which one's like, just really just kind of steps on her heels all the time, pokes her in the ribs. Nothing too crazy. Just
As you start to talk to him, first of all, you do shrink at that time. Congratulations!
I do.
You're now back to your normal size.
All right, let's carry this conversation on indoors. Coming on in. Okay, that's good. Right.
And
so,
yeah.
Hi, I'm Esther. Squig, shoulder up.
My
this
name
is Squigs.
Aesop. Nice to meet you, I guess. That is a very strange question. And that's a very interesting pet that you have there.
It's not a pet. Oh well, he's a companion. This is my dragon.
My
this is
apologies.
Squigs. He's a poison dragon. He's just a baby though.
As you might know, we're very fond of dragons here. Nice
As
to
you
meet
can see, why I may
Squigs.
have popped on by.
Yeah, he's
so
seems to be quite happy about the dragon.
So you guys are supporters of which of the pantheons in here, so I don't step on no one's toes, really. This is gods here, right? Not titans.
No, yeah, of course, this is the dragon shrine. We we have there's you might have seen the statue. It's the dragon that we have depicted here on the statue in the main hall is Balmitria. I'm sure you've heard of that one.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. We're traveling around with I don't like I kind of like look at him and like should we tell him who we're traveling around with or just like leave it as a person?
It's a
Mhm.
lot. It's a lot. We just got here. We don't even know
It's
this person yet.
I know, but he knows things and they like dragons. I feel like we're on the right
So
track.
he's fine.
I mean, dude, all we know is that this like acolyte person pointed at this door. We don't even know nothing yet.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a young boy that pointed you to that door.
Solomon's outside the door still, like looking around at all the statues. They look scary to him. He's like, I don't know about all this.
Well,
All
they
right,
look a little
so
bit like they are dragons, so that's positive, probably.
That's why he's very much intimidated by this.
Yeah.
I did tell you that Pythor is friends with Bahamut.
Oh yeah,
Well,
you
that's
did.
true. But Solomon has more of a fearful respect of his god
That's fair.
and less of like
It's a
Mm.
dragon
super
god.
stoked about it.
yeah, he like
Yeah.
I would like Esther like
He's a
peeked his
god.
head
He's a
out.
god
Be
with
like,
big teeth.
so whose dragon was that? Also, what kind of
Um,
dragon was it?
Well, the dragons just came with the dragon lords. I mean, that's an interesting question. I wouldn't go as far as to say that any of the dragons were the dragon lords' pets as much
No,
as
no, no.
you
Like
said
let's
the dragon
say it
was their
like this.
companion. Yes.
Yeah, he chose me.
Mm-hmm.
Who did he choose?
Oh, you're
They're
asking about
partners. They're
the
partners.
dragon lords now, right?
Yes.
Pretty much. Hmm. He will tell you. Let me just see. That's in here.
But I
Right,
really do. I
Demetria.
really would like to get back to the witch god. Like, I need to find.
Oh yeah, you're
We're
still
supposed to get some
really
god support
okay.
and things like that. But like this is actually a really
He
important
will
question.
chuckle
Actually,
at this question.
to be real with you, there's all kinds of important questions. I'm gonna be here a while if that's all right with you.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a dragon. If you're respectful to our temple, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Oh,
We
dragons are
don't
my
have
favorite thing in
problems
the
with
world.
any
So
visitors, of course.
wonderful.
Yeah, so he will, referring to the question about who would annoy Kara the most, he will probably just really have a little bit of a laugh, and then just say, "Oh, that might very well be Pythor."
Pythor. All right. So
Yeah,
what is
just
Pythor's deal, and where might I be able to come in contact with this
he
his
points
godliness?
straight out of the door, to the other side of the road, towards the palace that you just walked by. It would be here. And goes, well, Pythor is our king, and you will probably find him in the palace.
Oh,
He's the
that's
god of
wonderful.
battle.
Wait,
And
the
as
god
far
of
as I
battle is
know,
your king?
siblings never get that well along. So if you ask for somebody who is able to annoy Kyra, I would guess it's her brother. And
They're
just kind of chuckles
siblings.
to themselves.
Oh, this is I love this so very much. So, I guess knowing
my
that
God.
you know a lot about the gods, correct? Obviously, them walking amongst you is like a normal thing. So I've heard. We're not really quite sure how everything works around here yet. We just kind of poofed
You
through a
ask
magical
very
palace.
strange questions.
Yeah, it's probably because it's poofing through the magical palace.
That sounds strange as well.
Sword is just
I
like
wouldn't
face
advise
palming.
it to
What
anyone.
the hell?
I wouldn't advise it to anyone. Well, there's dragons in there, which was pretty cool. I like that part, except for when they tried to kill us. But I almost had another pet. It would have been really cool coming here with 2 dragons. But that one would have been a pet, not like Squigs here. But sorry, getting way off track.
Okay. Yeah, so he can tell you the companions of the dragons as well, like which dragon which would be which dragon lord, if that is
And the
what you're
types of the
asking.
dragons as
And
well?
then
Yes, I very much would like to know this.
yeah, so Balmitria, because you asked about that one, is actually the dragon that came with the leader of the dragon lords. His name was Xander Warath. I'm just gonna write it down because that's kind of a hard one to remember. Warath, like that. Exactly, and he tells you that because he was kind of the leader of the dragon lords, as in that he was the one who started their journey towards this land, or they flew somewhere else because of him, seemingly. He was killed, so the dragon lord is, according to the stories, has been dead for a long time. But his dragon was Balmitria, and that was, I'll probably also find the color, is a silver dragon.
Silver dragon.
Yes.
How did you spell the dragon name?
I put Balmetria. Balmitra.
Balmitria.
I was so close.
It's pretty close, yeah. So he'll tell you a little bit about that and be very reverent about the statue of this dragon, which is pretty big,
Wonder,
which
so
is
this
why
was
the temple is that large.
He was a
And
big
who is-
kebab then.
What god did Xander serve?
And
That
yeah,
was,
there's water outside there. So Sherwin
Was
can
there-
absolutely just lie down in the thing. It's not very much water. If you lie down on it, it's like the width of your hand, kind of deep. It's not that deep. But you can lie down in it. Yeah.
Was Xander Pythor? Crap. Pythor, right?
Pythor is the name, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was Xander Pythor's champion?
As far as we know, we don't actually know if each of the dragon lords summoned one god or if all the gods got summoned by all the dragon lords.
So more of
we
like
are
a
not
group
entirely
kind of thing.
sure. There's no story telling us exactly who did what.
Got it. There was
So
only
I can't
just a
help you
god
with
who would
that.
just tell us what was going on that, was traveling around a bit. Would be crazy. Well, all right.
Yeah.
I do have a few more questions, and I would sit there and like pester him about like the other types of like if there was a poison dragon, like who the other names of the other dragon lords were, and and also, but most importantly, all these questions would be leading up to, all right, now, is there any way that you could get me audience to meet Pythor in person? I wish to ask for his blessing and possibly some guidance on our mission.
Yeah, what he will tell, I'll actually just write that information to you because you're specifically asking. I'll just give you the names and the dragons.
Perfect.
I'll just do that.
So you could just like DM me later or something.
Yeah, I will just write them to you. And then I'll also give you that's nice. Sharon just there's actually mud in the at the bottom of the fountain, so you can
mud
mud
bath
castle as well. Yeah, he will. You'll maybe notice, asking all your questions, that he does look a little bit worried. And he'll just tell you, well, as much as we would like to give you a proper blessing, our main relic has been stolen, and we actually currently are more on looking for somebody to help us with that. If
I
you
do
don't mind
this-
me asking, you have something about you, though.
If I do this for you guys, can you get me to talk with Pythor? Because I'm down. I'll do it right now. I'll kind
Oh,
of sleep. No, slept
to
already.
be
I'll
very
all right.
fair, you might be able to just talk to him in the morning. He's
Well, I also would
probably
like
not
to
in a
get
state to talk right now.
Would it up my chances of getting a yes from him with this relic of yours?
He will just point to a kind of shrine thing right next to this big statue that was kind of hidden behind the statue from where you were standing, but he just leads you around. There's an empty kind of holding place, obviously, and he just says, "This used to be the place where the horn of Belmitria lay. It has been
Is it
stolen."
a horn that is endless type of horn, or is it just like a regular horn?
Well, according to the stories, it was Belmitria's horn, so it is a very magical, very powerful, and very revered item that
Soren,
we took care of.
Soren, does that sound like the silver dragon's horn that we're supposed to be looking for?
Well, I don't know about
Belmitria is a silver
horn,
dragon.
Yeah, I was going to say
Oh,
Belmitri's a
yeah.
silver dragon. We're looking for a horn. They're missing it. Yeah, it
It's
sounds kind
possible.
of like a.
We did hear that it's possible that it was here in the temple, and it sounds like they had something listed to the temple that could be connected.
Do you have any leads on that horn? We are actually, apparently, our goals have very, very aligned at the moment.
He keeps looking at you a little bit strangely. For whatever
Well,
reason, you can't really place it.
Is there something on my face? Is she messing with me
no.
again? Solomon, is she messing with me again?
Oh, I
no,
stepped out. I was outside the room. I never
he's
came
outside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We haven't really done a lot of investigating yet.
Well,
We
better get to it.
It sounds almost like you might. Did you by any chance just come from another temple?
Yeah. Yeah. What was the name of that place? I don't remember. Something with an oracle.
Yeah, we met an
As
oracle.
soon as you say oracle, he's just kind of perking up.
Told us a
So,
cool story. Said
do
we got to go
all
do
the-
some stuff.
Do all the gods exist like around about in the world? You can meet any of them face to face?
He looks at you very confused again. What else should they do?
So, like
they just
Mitros, Vulcan, Valis, all?
well, sure.
So you know where Pythor is. Would you know where Valis is as well?
I'm not entirely sure about Valas right now. I definitely know that it should
You think
be.
Pythor would know?
Oh, probably.
Ah.
I just know where Pythor is because he's pretty much living next door. Also, the gods do tend to otherwise, make their rounds. Pythor isn't, obviously, but the other ones might well. But you meet them from time to time. Sometimes they come in here.
Is there ways to up that timeline? Is kind of what we're wondering. We would like
You
to
will.
meet
He will tell you that 2 days
Beware.
ago the horn got stolen.
2
They
days
don't
ago. the
know
horn was-
exactly. Yeah, they haven't figured out why or what exactly happened. They suspect the followers of Sidon because that would
Those
just make
sons of
sense.
bitches. They've been pain in our ass since we got here.
Because Sidon has been withholding all the rainwater. He has been, bearing down heavily on the city. You find out that the whole area has been pretty famished because of it, and they're trying currently, because Pythor told them to do so, to appease Sidon by bringing a lot of actual offerings to their offering stone, and have not been successful in appeasing Sidon, obviously. So they have a bunch of problems, and his main gripe right now is really that the horn got stolen, and he's kind of fearful that that would also demoralize the people even more.
Yeah, all right. Well, I guess Soren, do you have any questions for the gentleman? Because
I think
Sherwin is actually. Do you mean Solomon?
I
just
meant
have
Soren. I meant
yeah.
Soren.
Or sorry?
I just have one question before we go, and then we'll go see about getting your horn. I guess we will need to know any information you have pertaining to its disappearance.
Okay.
But
He will show you around the area. You see that there's some dried red little puddles on the floor. And if you look at them closely, he will see you look and he'll just say, well, I think it's not blood. It seems to be wine. There's some dirt. There's a lot of. It really looks like somebody just walked in there right from, I don't know, like a farmer or something like that, just or a group of farmers just walking in there, pretty much grabbing the horn and going out. That's kind of what it looks like. Pretty,
Did no
they
one
have
in
been
here
cleaning.
see anything?
We were asleep. We didn't
And they
actually
also
see
already
that.
cleaned the scene of the crime.
They have not cleaned that area specifically, but they have
Very
been
good.
cleaning the rest of the temple. So that's why there's still a lot of dirt. There's still those. It probably was wine spilled, but it's now dried. So it's just red puddles, but dried.
All right.
Yeah, some dirt. That's what you just see right now. Would you like to join the others and let them know of any of this? It's kind of getting late-ish. You probably are getting hungry.
yeah, Soren would definitely want to go meet up with the others and let them know everything we learned.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are gonna head out that way. I'd like to take a look at the scene here real quick. See if I
Okay.
can gather anything from it. I'll be right behind you.
Okay. So you just go over to the others. The first thing that Soren will see is actually probably Sherwin playing around in the mud and water.
I'll I'll go sit like close to the by where the fountain is and just kind of
Perfect, the
watch him
Rusties.
play. Watch him play, tell him everything we learned while he builds his castle.
Sand castles are hard.
Yeah, and sorry, I'm just gonna do this really quick, just because I forgot to ask. Before we left, I was just sitting outside waiting to see if anybody was following us or did anything weird. I was sitting outside, just kind of watching people, and I probably saw a lot of sad, skinny people, and it
You
made.
did see a lot of, yeah, exactly. You do see that people aren't exactly happy. You see a few of those very skinny, farm animals around, just like that. Nobody's really paying much attention to you. They did absolutely gawk at this huge cat figure as long as Esther was big, just because that was just really unusual.
Fair enough.
But I mean, you're also a very tall person, and there's a few looks, but they're just like, oh, that's a different person. I haven't seen that person before. That kind of look. You just kind of stand out a little bit.
Fair enough.
Doesn't seem to be much more than that.
A little used to that, but I'm very much ready to get the party back together and scratch my Sherwin itch.
Okay, so you would also just go over with, so it would be all the party except for Esther in the tavern or just in front of the tavern. Orestes probably seducing a bunch of people in there.
Oh yeah, he's singing that song. Like,
Yeah.
Guys with him.
Oh yeah. I mean, make a performance check just to see how well it gets received.
Sherwin.
Yes, he's been drinking a lot, so
yeah.
it could go badly.
Well, it would have been a chance to actually make some money. It really doesn't work out like that. They kind of gently try to shove you towards the door a little bit. You kind of end up singing the last stanza in front of the tavern. But other than that, yeah. There's some other also very drunk people that still like it a lot and, applaud you. That's
I'll join Sherwin in the pool as I stumble backwards out the tavern.
nice. So you have two people bathing in this very shallow kind of little basin there.
Oh, the sand castle.
So anyway, apparently the gods are like around and stuff. What do you? Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, Respus?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Of course, we knew that already. My lady, they're outside.
I mean, yeah, that's one though, but I've not met the other four.
I built a church, and you guys look down and just see this little pile of sand and mud. It absolutely is nothing more than like I picked it up with my shield and dumped it down and like patted it a couple times.
Looks great.
Yeah, I'm gonna change the world, starting right here.
Yeah,
We used to make mud pies when I was a child, I say, and I scoop a handful of sand into my mouth.
Nice.
Great.
Yep.
Oh, it's terrible as I remember.
Oh man, okay, actually, Solomon totally reads his fucking call, looks around, and is totally gonna like try to help Orestes out of the thing. Be like, "That's not food, friend. We're gonna find you some real good yums. Come on, buddy."
Oh, I got a belly for some food right now, but it seems that our city is void of it.
Oh, well, you can get some wine bread in there. Did you have any of the wine bread?
I think you've had enough wine bread. As he tries to shovel another thing of sand into his mouth and like smacking his hand, like, no, we're not doing that anymore. No more.
It's nothing compared to marmalade bread, but it's not that bad.
Marmalade? Where?
Oh, I don't have any more. I had some in this jar right here, and I pull out this super nasty jar.
Oh, yes.
Just sticky.
So as we go try to find some food, because there's not any food, hardly any food in the tavern.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to fill us in on the missing details from the temple there?
Yeah. And you know that Esther is still at this shrine. Esther, make an investigation check to see what else you find out as you're still staying over there and looking at all that. It's pretty good. You do find some hoof prints that look a lot like what you have seen Orestes leave behind. But also some that are
and
they're mostly smaller. But the form is kind of the same.
Okay.
Plus wine spills. It's definitely wine.
Has been up to some shit. Yeah, I was about to say. So we're looking.
Saying it's the goat, and another one is saying it's Orestes' mom. I'm not even sure what is worse.
That was 100% a joke about the goat. That is not at all what he thinks, but I thought it would be funny.
But
yeah. But yeah, I would look at take notes on it, and kind of like just I guess remember the look of the tracks as best I can. And because I am a ranger, even if I don't really do a lot of ranger stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, just try and memorize them, and then like, all right, Squigs, hop on up. And he says, "Thank you very much, priest dude. We'll be back with that horn. Don't you worry. I think I got a little bit of what's going on around here. I think I might be able to figure it out for you. Have a good night. Might be back here sleeping. I don't know. We'll see." And he just like heads off.
He just he'll tell you just good night and be a little bit confused by everything that just happened. But then you'll all be back kind of together. Some very drunk, some not.
What the fuck is happening over here?
A little bit.
Like
Yep.
what the? Where?
Oh,
So anyway, my guess is it's probably somebody from the rural community. It looked like maybe even a group of them because there was a bunch of dirt around, some spilled wine, perhaps. I don't know. It's
As,
very interesting. But anyway, we got to get this horn back.
as Esther comes up, they got hoof prints around it too. There, Soren. Little ones, smaller than the rest is here, but there's a lot of them.
Yep.
Horn prints.
What are you saying about the size of my hooves?
Means you got big hooves. You know what they say? Big hooves, big hoof prints.
Right.
Dirty hooves, spilled wine, and a stolen hoard could be satyrs.
Yeah, and it makes sense if they're all doing that. But he was saying that it was supposedly a whole bunch of. He says that the chance is there's a bunch of siding people. Um, but and I guess if there was a bunch of Fae, normally the Fae, no offense, Arestus, but from what we learned, normally the Fae are pretty tight and skewed, tight and heavy.
So, were they really that much smaller than my hoof prints?
Quite a
were they
if
tiny?
you
Yeah.
could actually make a hoof print in the courtyard in front of the tavern,
Yeah.
and Esther could totally show you how big those hoof prints were. They are
Yeah,
smaller
like
than
drop
yours.
inside of your hoof prints, like with a
Mhm.
stick. This is what
Yeah.
big they were.
Really some little wee things.
Yes.
Probably tiny.
All over the place.
Is there a
Hmm.
smaller version
not
of you?
necessarily tiny, but definitely small. And
Hey,
also,
Brady Williams, get over here, and I do a hoof print right next to those ones.
yep.
I was like, yeah, they're totally different size and
Does this
shape and shit,
world
right?
have Corin
Mm,
in it? Does it
I
have
couldn't
those things?
card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
That's my
it's
guess. It was Corin.
yeah. It's yeah. It could be that, but you could also. It depends a little bit on what you see, but it could totally be any of the goatlings as well. Like, those bastards that always just try to play better pranks than any of the satyrs and are just small little kind of distant cousins.
They were shape changed into goats. Somebody
Yeah.
shape changed into goats. Or it was
Or
Corin.
that. Yep. There's all kinds of
No, she's saying
possibilities.
goatlings is another race,
A
like a
goatling
satyr.
is
but small.
another, yeah, it's like a smaller form of satyr-ish.
Oh.
They're also very, very mischievous and are generally very disliked because of it, because they tend to just play pranks, some of them more deadly than others. But they're
Hmm.
like, just very typical Fae in that.
Where do they
But
live?
at
So
the
they're
same
more
time, they tend
unseelie
to,
Fae.
they're just everywhere. I mean, there's kind of, some
They-
people just kind of refer to them as vermin.
They live in urban areas then?
Not usually, but they might just, if they get a chance to kind of sneak in, they might.
And steal a silver horn. A sacred
Steal a
silver
horn.
Hey,
Yep.
what up?
So
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate
I
you.
hate to break up this late night brunch, but should we go talk with this Python? Wouldn't
Python.
They said that
you
he'd be
Renilla?
available in the morning. There,
We
Solomon.
should probably eat first.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
Probably
everybody.
a good
All day.
idea.
But,
We're gonna need Orestes actually being able to function.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
Well, they said eat no more mud pies. Just
Or
smacks
Steve's
her
trying to
like
remember if there's actually beef, if there's like some real beef with
Get some
Kira
bread in this
and
motherfucker. But
Yeah. Okay. You do know that they are siblings and that it's the kind of usually friendly rivalry between
Friendly,
siblings. Usually.
it's not a bitter,
You also
right?
do know that Pythor right now is not in a very good like everybody that you have been sitting around for a while now in the tavern, even drinking heavily, you will have heard people saying that Pythor seems to be kind of out of his mind a little bit.
You know that
You
Pythor's
will
the
have
god of
learned that just by being in that tavern.
You do know that Pythor is the god of battle, right, Esther?
Yeah. I mean, what's the problem with that? I like battles. Next guy.
I mean, it's just I just figured that you'd go for something that had a little bit more profit than death.
Hey, it looks like by the sound of it, they are you kidding me? War is like one of the best money making things. How do you think I made my money to buy my airship? By our
He's
totally legitimate shipping routes.
he's not the god of rebuilding after war. He's the god of the war part.
I can't hear you. You cut out completely again.
Oh, I said he's not the god of the rebuilding after war part. He's the god of the war part.
Shit, man. This stuff. This internet sucks so bad, dude.
Oh,
I can't.
Aw, it's really difficult.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all.
It's all good. We're probably gonna have to wrap up
Yeah, that
in the
sucks.
tavern anyway.
But
I'll just write him.
yeah, 100%. He's not in it to actually choose this. Like, from what he got from the priestess, that we can either like try and get group blessings from all the gods, or everybody like picks one or whatever.
Hmm.
And for now, he just wants the next god to be on their side, maybe to go talk to and have a conversation with Kyra there, to be one that annoys the shit out of her, and he doesn't really care how that works out at the end. I've been looking at that this whole time. The heart there.
Yeah.
Sherman's beckoned to it.
I'm kind of. I don't know. I think I'm glad if you're choosing it to if you choose to see it as a heart, it's nice. I like that better than other options that might be available.
I thought it was a butt.
Heyo.
Goodness.
Yeah. Exactly. So you will Kyra has made her rounds and has found out some news from, farmers and everybody there. Uh-huh. Orestes is busy. Orestes also has heard some stuff, and Sherwin would also have gotten a little bit of info, but you also, it's all very new to Sherwin. So we'll just have to see how that goes. You can absolutely get a room in that tavern. They have little food, like it's not very varied. They can give you some food. It's just going to be a bit bland and, not 10 options, but really just one, maybe two, and hardly any meat.
Pass out by the hearth downstairs.
Nice. Okay, so they'll actually let you sleep there. They're like, oh, a satyr? Well, okay, doesn't matter. They'll just,
Nice.
clean up around
We
you.
gotta get him some bread, like ASAP.
Just, it's a known thing. They tend to be a little bit wild. So they'll actually let you sleep right there and, step around you. You can get some rooms because it's currently pretty empty. There's nobody really there. They really don't mind that much. You can get rooms. Even each of you can get one room in there for like a silver piece each. They really don't. Oh yeah, and you will probably leave some surprises for the morning, I'm sure.
I mean, Sullivan would definitely do the best he can to like get Orestes. Like he wouldn't just leave him. Like he would try to get him
At some point
situated.
try to get him upstairs. You're
Yeah.
able to carry him, I guess.
Yeah.
You could, do that, unless Orestes has any,
I just get hoof kicked to
awake
the
enough
face.
to actually, yeah. I mean, if he's really drunk, he might just be passed out and not notice. Would he notice?
Because if we're staying in the tavern for the night, he definitely kept drinking. So,
Oh,
yeah,
he's probably very much out of it.
He'll go straight up, sleepwalk, black out, drunk.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
Probably
So
he'll
Solomon
not
would have
stay in
left
his
him
room.
with his drink or something, been like,
Mhm.
"All right, are you sure you're okay, bud?" I don't know if you need any more of this. And you could probably easily convince him, just like, especially with your bardic tongue, even when you're hammered, be like, say something, and he's just like, wow, that's fancy. All right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, Esther is, suggests something else, but you're also kind of getting very tired. You've had some, if you want to, you can get food and a bed for 2 silver in the tavern. You can
Right, we
also
pay to
walk
get
across the town again.
2
It's
silver?
not,
Hell yeah.
it's not a long, like 2
2
silver
silver?
would get you quite a lot of the kind of bread that they have. It's kind of a flat bread.
I'm gonna
Kind
go
of
ahead and
baking in some pans.
spend 4 because I'm solid.
Probably gonna go back over.
Hmm.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
And then just crash at the temple. He's
Yep. Sure.
trying to
You
get
can
the
do that. They'll
full
just give
scoop.
you.
Like
They have those.
she won't tell me anything, and I have a million questions.
Okay. Yeah, Kyra is just gonna stay in the tavern with all the people there. She's kind of happy to be among people, so she'll just stay with the majority. And you can all just yeah, get some rest. Figure out what to do the next day.
When-
And you totally know, like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting between you and Kyra. But yeah, if there's anything else you would like to do, before getting to bed, just let me know. Other than that, I'll write you some more info, Esther, so you have your dragon info. And
Perfect.
yeah, anybody else missing any information? I don't think so.
I would have been there for all of that. I wouldn't mind getting the.
Yeah, you can
the
get
photo
the same
dragon
info. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I probably
And
would
if
have
I
asked.
saw
You're also
Kyra,
one probably writing down stuff.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
I'll just,
and I would have asked anything about I guess you're included anything about the other dragon lords and which ones were
Mhm.
connected to what.
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
I'll do that. Sure. What did you want to say? Something about
I was gonna
Kyra.
say if I saw Kyra before heading back out to the temple,
Mhm.
yeah, if I saw her before heading back out to the temple, I would just be like, "Oh, hey, Kyra, uh, Balmetria, Silver Dragon, Xander Haroth. Thanks a lot. Have
She
a good
just
night."
smiles.
And just
"See,
go to
you
the
can
church.
find it out.
You could have
Kind of-
made it easier.
But where's
I
the
really
fun in
hope.
that?
Hey, you're gonna see fun when I get Pythora's blessing after we get this mission done.
She just looks at you a little bit like confused. That's the look you get, and then
Yeah.
Solomon opens a
leave.
window, is like, go to bed. You guys are being too loud. Cut it out.
Okay.
I'll go with you over to the temple to fall asleep, having got the invitation as well. And you realize that, like, what if she didn't tell you so that you would go to the temple and meet the guy and hear about the horn, and that's why she didn't tell you before.
Understand that. Right now, it's just principle. I get that I was wrong, all right, Soren. I get that. But
I'm just saying, we don't even know how much they know. What if they know everything?
Well,
like, I still figured out pretty much everything that I needed to know. But at the same time, it could have been way easier. We already done found it out. Then she could have been like, "Hey, by the way, you're gonna need to go talk to this guy at the temple. He's pretty
Well,
cool."
Okay, hypothetically, bigger picture here. Let's say they someday tell stories about this generation of dragon lords, and we were
and
successful.
then just say, "Well, you have to
and-
go there."
And then they
Yeah.
talk about there was the one dragon lord who wouldn't stop arguing with Kyra all the time. Like that was like his story. That's what you want your dragon lord era of fantasy, want everything to be about.
don't
Often this
give a
is just Solomon, just
damn.
go to bed.
We're
Yeah.
going. We're going.
We'll be like,
This is a perfect place to
halfway
end this
across,
for
like past
tonight.
the next building. Just yelling
Perfect.
back,
Yeah. You two arguing, the rest more or less just snoring and trying to be louder than the other more or less, so you don't have to hear the others snore.
Mhm.
Orestes passed out, probably getting up 1-2 times at night, just doing weird shit in the tavern. Doesn't even matter if you put him into an actual bed. He'll just get up, get back to the
Just
to the
sleepwalks
main
back
room
down to the
and
bar
do
and
weird things there. Yeah.
twerks his little goat tail a little bit.
I mean, there's still gonna be somebody kind of watching at night, but what should they do about a satyr just being, what they do?
Walks downstairs and plays the greatest song that he'll ever play and never remember.
Oh yeah, nobody will ever have heard.
He'll write a
Except for the
tribute
night
about
watch.
it tomorrow, though.
That's what he lives for.
Yeah.
That moment of selflessness that he doesn't even remember the next morning.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Greatest
perfect. So
He
that
goes
is
and
exactly
feeds
what
all
we're
the
gonna
orphans
stop
in
at.
town.
This is
Does
perfect.
that mean Kira, Sherwin, and Solomon that we all like get different rooms?
You
Sherwin's sleeping
can,
outside.
like, it's currently there's no visitors in town. It's pretty empty. It's a little bit bleak, and nobody really, they don't really care much. They will take your money, but technically all they want is some rain and some more food on the tables again. So you can choose. Kyra wouldn't mind just being in a room with you all because she really doesn't care. She also technically doesn't seem to need any sleep.
If
But
she
she
doesn't
will,
watch over me through the night, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Oh, she will absolutely check on you a lot. Like she will just, go back and forth.
Faith
Yeah,
and
sure.
Can be
Very
pretty
much
quiet
fun.
too. You
So
might not notice her all the time.
Considering that Orestes and Kira are probably together, Soren and Esther are probably together, I
Mhm.
guess I'm gonna sleep outside with Sherwin.
Nice. Yeah, okay, sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's plenty room in the church for you, my friend.
Oh,
And I
man.
just pushed.
the saddest spooning
I just
ever.
I just pushed the pile over a little bit.
Oh. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we all kind of have coupled up and just go to sleep for the night and then probably try to figure out some stuff tomorrow or next week in real life.
Do you
But
imagine
that's
being
really
a
nice.
villager in
We
this
got to
town?
the first kind of, it's kind of a map. I mean, you haven't gotten to any libraries yet, but you do have a map. I'll call it a map.
We just are like a bunch of homeless people that just showed up and are just getting hammered and just yelling in the
Yes.
street. Pretty much.
Yep.
Oh man.
You
For
also
real,
keep telling people that you come from like a really strange place and ask them about the natural things, like, so your gods are walking the earth like it's a big thing.
dude,
You
you're
are
right.
very
Oh yeah,
strange
they
to these
they
people.
walk past
You're
us.
right.
Me and Sherwin are spooning on the street, and they're like, "God,
Yeah.
Literally, two of
fucking
us are
people."
sleeping in the
fuck?
gutter. Two of us went to go. Two of us went to go
To the
pass out in
temple,
the
pretty
pews
much.
at his church.
Yes.
Like we are homeless people. We walked into
Yep.
town like
Yeah.
straight up poor homeless
Yep.
people, and we're trashed everywhere. That's fantastic. This is a
Kyra
great
just
way to start an
listens to
adventure.
Orestes songs whenever, like, she does, make her rounds and actually look at all of you, make some notes at night. She does that. She does record stuff that you do. So even like, you can actually make another performance check to see how well your night kind of goes if you want to Orestes, so she knows what to record in her on her scroll.
I had
Give yourself advantage. Give
Uh,
yourself advantage.
disintegration, kind of like as a result of like really flubbing his. Hold on a second, I got the wrong character sheet.
If he's just gonna start singing fucking Wonderwall, I swear to God, I'll bash my brains out.
Like that's like once he failed that first performance check, he was just like, oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Don't want a bender tonight. I just flubbed in front of
Mm,
my goddess, but let's see if he
yeah.
can redeem himself later. That's a
Yeah,
little
it's
better.
much better than before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, as you're still really drunk, but you're now in a state where it's not really that much against you anymore. It doesn't really help either, but you're kind of doing okay. And there will be, just a very, like a slight smile on the Night Watch's face as you sing a probably pretty funny, pretty dirty song.
Last thing,
How
pass
do you
out.
have
Yeah.
how do you have a +0 to your performance as a bard?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
How do I have a +0 to provide for? I don't know. How do I
Yeah,
have a
it says that you
+0?
have guidance on, and you're having you have a +0 on your character for real? How's that
Yeah,
possible?
well, I've got a.
What's your charisma?
I think it should. My charisma is a 17.
Yeah,
And
so
I-
it should be
Even
It
then,
should be
higher.
way higher than that.
even then, you should have jack of all trades by now. So like, you should have half.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
would
half your
immediately give you
proficiency.
half of your boost proficiency.
Because right now I have
Which
a
is
higher
+1.
performance than
Yeah,
you
I have a
somehow.
high. Well, I have the same performance as you, and you've seen my guy. He don't perform for
I
shit.
don't know look, I don't know where the guidance is coming from. Why that is rolling on everything, but I mean, I'm definitely using the performance proficiency on my list. On my
I'm
character.
not.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't get it.
I got a
yeah. So
negative
that
1
means it
on
should
my
be your
performance.
charisma plus your proficiency
I think
bonus. If
I,
you're
Yeah.
yeah,
proficient,
my
in it should be
proficiency
physical
bonus should
proficiency.
be +5. Um, isn't that what the number to the left of it is? Is like is that the proficiency bonus? Performance
No,
bonus.
that would be the
Yeah, you should have a
plus 5
3.
sounds about
We have
right.
a +2.
That's +3
Yeah,
plus
you'd
2.
have a 3 plus 2. Yeah, you should have a
Yeah.
+5 to both those rolls. So
Because you're proficient,
you're
it's not jack of all trades, I think, because that's only if you're not proficient.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
100%.
You
yeah,
do
it should be
every
+5.
skill
So-
check and you get proficiency.
you have
there.
an 11 on that, not a
So
6.
11
really-
plus 5 would be
Yeah.
yes, which is it's pretty good. And she'll definitely watch you try to kind of keep hidden a little bit, so as to not to disturb your performance, and write down a very nice witty song that you just come up with on the spot, probably
Ramble off.
in your
yeah.
drunken
It's just
state.
like you got one shot, mom spaghetti, just like in the fucking mirror, just fucking rip it.
Yeah.
Just just like barely able to stay up on this like stool, and you just like
Yeah,
my
standing is
knees
hard, but singing is
weak,
okay.
arms
Like,
are heavy.
fuck, that's deep. I had no idea he was from Detroit. My God.
What's Detroit?
That's Detroit, yeah.
Hey, wait a second. Hold on. I think Detroit is actually an ancient Greek city. The original Detroit.
100%
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
just
You're
written
That's
that it's
that's
different, yeah.
Detroit, not Detroit.
Detroit. It's close enough. If he says it with enough slur, it sounds like Detroit.
Yeah, I can't get an origin for Detroit. Anyway,
All right. Well, thank you very much, all of you. That was fun. I'm happy we finally arrived in the first city.
Hell
Lots
yeah.
of stuff to do. And you have a couple of leads, and we'll just see where this goes next time, I guess.
Yeah.
wee.
Yeah,
Thanks, everybody.
You rock. Thank you for running and
Oh, thank you for
yeah.
playing. I
got
really
so
love
Always
those
a pleasure.
characters.
I took so many notes today.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest, I
Yeah.
started to and then I had to leave a couple times and then it all fell apart. But
I'm the
you know,
dumb character, so I didn't write anything down.
Yeah, makes sense.
I
Oh,
got
but
I
I
got the
totally
Wawa
are.
bitch.
Question
The
right,
Wawa
which
bitch
was-
is in my notes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep.
Nice. I'll write a very, very general kind of summary that doesn't actually include any of the, like, a lot of the lore that you got will have to be from your notes, but I'll be nice and send the actual notes to both Soren and Esther, so those characters will know. Because I know that Soren is the kind of character that would actually write stuff down anyway, so you will have that. But yeah, other than that, it
I'm a
seems
nerd.
like we have a kind of sibling rivalry kind of going on between Esther and Kyra now. Because that's exactly like the kind of brother-sister relationship that's going on.
Perfect.
Just poking and pushing the right buttons all the time.
Yeah,
and
and
Kara
it's
really
handy to
enjoys
be
doing that.
within the party now. So
Mm-hmm.
whether it's competition.
Oh yes. And yeah, it's nice to know that, you know, there's at least two sides to this, so this will be interesting too. Yeah. I'll give some of you some more notes and then write a summary, and we'll hopefully see each other next week again. Thanks
everybody.
very much.
See you guys.
See you.
Cheers.
Yes. Have a good day.
Yep. Good night.
Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you. If you want to catch up on everything else from before, head on over to the YouTube, and I am. They're talking. Darth's talking in my ears right now. I am doing the outro right now. Yeah, join us on Discord. Check us out on YouTube. Have a good night, everybody.